And we are recording. Welcome to El Paso by Night. Okay, so, uh, like I was telling them, go ahead and reset your willpower and health and hunger. Set your hunger to 1. And if you had any experience you wanted to spend, now's a good time to do it. Once everybody's set with that, then we will begin.
Can I put my hunger at 0?
Can you put your hunger at what?
At 0?
Oh, um,
Okay.
roll me a 10-sided die. If you roll a
Okay.
9 or a 10, then you can set your hunger at 0.
Is that specific to
To her?
just
3.
my
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
No,
Um,
you got a hunger 1.
okay. And health back to normal too?
How's what?
Health?
Yeah. Yeah. Erase all your damage. It's been
Okay.
it's been like 2.5 months since the last
Oh,
time,
hopefully
so
we're healed up
I
then.
assume that you healed yourself during that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody set. Okay. So, first, I'm going to read over our recap as more of a setup than a recap in this situation, and then after that, we're going to do Krieg's hunting scene to
Nice.
just go over his his generalized hunting, when he's off the books hunting, how that works out, and then from there, and that will have happened, I don't know, like a few nights ago, maybe even up to a week or two ago. And then from there, we'll jump into current, even though some of my recap page is going to point to current. Okay, so the flames of Inquisition. It started as just rumor, but the travelers kept coming, and they kept sharing the same story. LA was lost. The Second Inquisition struck down the kindred of Los Angeles in a single night. They launched a multi-pronged attack on Prince Vannevar Thomas, every member of the Primogen Council, as well as all 4 Anarch barons. The Prince, Seneschal, Primogen, and Sheriff are all missing and unaccounted for. Dozens of kindred were staked and captured, and many more were outright destroyed. The Camarilla has abandoned the city, but the Anarchs are still standing their ground, ready to fight for the Anarch Free State. The stories talk about advanced weaponry, like a drone with a headlight so bright that it burned, helmets that block domination and presence powers, a machine that inhibits blood sorcery, and a red mist that kills kindred but leaves all mortals unharmed. The stories they told were terrifying, and it was easy to see which travelers saw them with their own eyes and which were just passing the stories along. That was September. Now it's the 10th of December, and kindred life in El Paso has changed drastically. Prince James is reinforcing his ban on technology, and not just on the Camarilla in the city. Any kindred of any faction caught using technology to communicate in any way, even so much as to update their Facebook status, has been brought before him and punished severely. Several have been staked and set in storage, and 2 others were forced to meet the sunrise, a lesson for the rest of the city. For the spines of the cactus, things have been relatively quiet. There have been no sign of Antoine Salazar in Fairview Park or anywhere else, nor have there been any signs of Sabat or lupines in the city. But the real enemy has been moving. The FBI have been investigating a lot of kindred owned businesses, both in their paperwork as well as on the ground. And this morning, Special Agent Garcia of the FBI visited with Gustavo Gutierrez of the Angrioso Gym discussing the presence of local gangs and human trafficking. But besides that, tonight is the night that James Masters is delivering the Cactus a new surveillance van, something he'd put together with his own resources and kept off book as far as the Ventru bosses were concerned. Okay, and now, like I said, we're going to skip back to however many days ago. Jimmy wants to do it, and he's got a story to tell us.
Okay, wait. You said this was a week ago, so this was before he met Michael,
you
right?
If you want to do it, yeah, it's up to you. You only met that guy a couple of days ago, so if you want to do it then, that's fine. Or if you want to do it earlier, that's also fine.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I named your friend. I don't remember. I put her on
Bunny. I think it's Bunny.
Yeah.
Let me see. Bunny. Attribute. I'm so bad at finding things on here. Yeah, it's Bunny. Okay. So, Craig, is it okay if I do it in third person, or do you guys prefer first person? Or okay, so it was a December night, much like tonight, cooler. And Craig was walking, or he was hungry, and he had been mulling over the idea for a long time. He wasn't sure. Everything was loose ends, and he didn't like getting people involved any more than necessary. There's always an issue. One thing can lead to another, and anything involving people more than he absolutely needed to made him nervous. And as he was walking, he came across one of his old pound, which was like a second home to him. He loved it. It wasn't easy because he had seen a lot of horror there. He had seen a lot of broken animals there. He had seen a lot of eyes devoid of hope, longing, and something called to him. So he went there expecting it to be empty, but to his surprise, which it shouldn't have been such a surprise knowing the history, lights were on. He stepped up to it, looked inside, and there was a youngish 25, 30-year-old woman, light brown hair, freckles, glasses. She was sitting at a desk looking at a computer screen. Her hands were resting on her chin rested on her hands. She was taking slow, methodical breaths, trying to figure things out, avoiding things. Her eyes were red. Craig had seen her like this many times before. He was used to seeing her like this. It broke his heart whenever he did see her, because he knew her pain. With a deep breath that didn't bring any nutrition or benefits to his body, he paused for a moment and knocked on the glass. The young woman looked up, waved at her. Her eyes went wide in confusion. She hurried towards the door. She opened it after moments of hesitation. Craig, what? She demanded. Where are you? Where were you? What happened? Where have you been? Craig couldn't answer this, of course. So he just shrugged and said that things became complicated far faster than he could have ever planned for. She pauses and she asks if he's back, and he tells her no. Her face goes long. The ends of her lips nearly touch her chin with how deep the frown is. Craig puts a hand on her shoulder, lightly touching it. So, who's tonight? He asked, knowing what was so heavy on her shoulders. She said it was Sam, an old German shepherd that they had found wandering around in downtown, carrying around a bowl, looking for somebody to feed. He had been in the pound for 4 years and had not been taken because of his old age. It was Sam, and Bonnie couldn't stand it. It's okay, Craig said. She's like, yeah? He's like, yeah, I got it. I got it. With a deep breath, Bonnie nodded and motioned for him to come inside. She sealed the door behind them. They walked to the back, through past the cages, and found Sam. The old German Shepherd his face was white. He estimated he was about 12 years old. Last time Craig had seen him, they had gotten news that the cancer had spread. He got up to look at him. His eyes wide, sleepy. It was slow movement. Each step hurt. His body was in constant pain. I got him, Craig said, pointing at the dog in the cage. I got him, Bonnie. You stay here. I'll take him. Bonnie gave a nod, handed him the keys. Come on, boy, he said, opening the cage and motioning the old dog to follow him out. There was a moment of hesitation when Sam saw that Craig was going to the room in the back. Dogs didn't know what happened in there, but they could smell it. They feared the room. It's all right, Craig said, petting the old dog on the top of the head. Come on. He didn't pull, he didn't push the dog, he just motioned for the animal to follow him, and the dog did. With the key that Bonnie had given him, he opened the door and motioned the dog inside. He turned on the light, which blasted the room with a white, angry wash. He didn't need it, but it would look suspicious if he didn't turn it on. All right, old timer, Craig said, kneeling down to pick up the dog and prop him on the table. It's okay. The dog's body was in a state where he couldn't tell if he was supposed to be tense or relaxed. On the one hand, he trusted Craig, but on the other hand, the smell in the room, it was death. It was toxic. It's okay. Craig patted the dog once before turning and making sure the door was locked. And then he petted the dog again. I know it's been rough, buddy, and I'm sorry we couldn't find you anything better, but there's nothing else we can do, and to leave you alone, to let you continue with this, it would just be crueler than anything I can imagine. Craig sighed again. I don't want to do this. He didn't. How could he want to do this? If it wasn't for the threat that he could go crazy and cause so much more damage, he would never feed again. At least that's what he liked to think. He didn't know. He was new to all of this. As he thought, trying to tell himself this was the way to go, it was simple. Nobody extra got hurt. And poor Sam would be able to leave the world, if not in comfort with the kiss, at least the pain it wouldn't be as sudden and cold a death he hoped. He wasn't sure. Normally he took 10-15 minutes to comfort the dog, pet him, let him rest on the table and relax. But this time he took an extra 10-15 minutes because he had to work it up himself. Okay, buddy, Craig said, motioning the dog to sit up so he could reach him easier. Over the rainbow bridge, right? Right. He took another deep breath, and his fangs extended. The dog didn't tensed up ever so slightly as he lowered himself to to begin the feeding. But within a moment, the dog didn't seem as tense anymore. Craig sucked after the puncture wounds were made. And he kept on. The dog pressed up against him, moaning like when he was rubbed behind the ears. And little by little, the dog's less of his life left him. He slowly lowered himself to the table until he was still. Craig wasn't as hungry. On some level, despite the rush of pleasure he felt from the feeding, he still didn't feel good. Frowning, he picked up the syringe that was waiting for him, and he injected the dog so this way there would be no questions asked. He said, "I'm sorry, Sam." He patted the dog, the empty vessel, and he turned the lights off as he left. Oh wait, no. I can't remember. Sorry. Is where they put the bodies? Is it in the back, or do they have to go a different? It's in the back, right, with that room.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's in the room with them.
Just tell your story. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I've never been that close.
Yeah. So, and Craig picks Sam up and he carries him to the back and he finds the bag where he places the dog. He seals him up and he closes the container with the biohazard. He plans. He hates doing it this way as it always feels cold. At some point, he would like to bury the dogs. He plans to bury the dogs. The time isn't really on his side at the moment. Things that he has to do, things he has to figure out. So, for now, he hoped Sam would be the last dog who would bear this indignity of being left in a plastic bag and marked as bio waste. "Bye, Sam," he said again, closing the door, locking it. Bonnie was waiting a few yards away from the door as she couldn't get very much closer if she didn't have to. "It's done," he said, patting her on the shoulder. Was he scared?" she said, eyes wide. "No," Craig said. At the end, I think he was relieved that he couldn't feel the pain anymore. Bonnie nodded. Craig nodded. He didn't know what to say at this situation. It was easier with dogs because you could just say the truth and not say anything at all. "All right, well, I'll be in contact." Good. Bonnie said with a nod. He tried to smile. She failed. "I'm glad you're back." Craig just shook his head. "I'm not back, but I'll be around more often. I'll help you with this. You won't have to do it anymore. At least at this time of day." She nodded again, unsure of what to say. "All right." Craig turned and he left. He unlocked the door, stepped out, and gave a small nod behind him. His Bonnie was back at the desk. He closed the door behind him and walked off into the night.
Very good. Okay.
That was sweet.
It was hard. It was surprisingly emotional.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Okay. So, we have 3 scenes, and we don't have to do them in any particular order. So our 3 scenes are Mila is out checking on her touchstone. Jessica is out having a meeting with her sire and his new childer. And then the boys are waiting for their van to be delivered tonight. So which scene do we want to do first?
Random number generator.
Uh,
Roll 3 sided die.
You could do Mila first if you
Okay,
want
we'll
to.
do Mila first. Random number generator. Mila's first.
Okay.
Okay, so let me pull up my mic. Oh, I didn't write that much for you. Excuse me. Still fighting off this cough from a month ago. So, Mila, you arrive to Carlos Hernandez's apartment. This is where he lives now, and he's not home. You break your way inside, and he's not home. So
Mhm.
this is the night you have assigned to do this, and you need to at least lay eyes on him, or else you'll still have to do it a different day. So
Mhm.
maybe he's with his mom. So you go to his mom's house. There are police cars at his mom's house.
Hmm.
There's yellow tape. There's you do see him, and he is talking with some policemen.
Okay.
But you do
Can
have
I?
eyes laid on him, and as long as you could just sit to the side and watch for a few minutes, and you will satisfy your touchstone, or you can go investigate whatever's going on.
I would like to become invisible and go
I
kind of walk
assumed you
up.
were already invisible.
Oh, okay. Then I would like to walk
Oh, by
up
the way, make a
behind him.
rouse check. Not for the invisible. I'm not going to charge you that. Just make a rouse check for being awake today.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, by the way, make a rouse check for being awake today.
I'm awake.
Tonight.
Yay.
Wake up.
Okay, so you're still good. And I'm not going to charge you a rouse check for your being invisible.
Okay. So I would like to kind of go near him and the police officer and hear what he's saying.
Okay. They are mid-conversation, so I'm not going to quote them exactly.
Okay.
It appears his mother was murdered.
Hunger
And
gain.
Yep.
Hunger Game. So his mother
Damn
was
it.
murdered, and he came home and found her just a couple of hours ago.
Oh no. Okay.
So,
All right.
according
Can
to
I
what you're hearing and the questions that they're asking him,
mhm.
when he came home, her throat was slashed, and she was mounted onto the wall upside down. And in her own blood, written on the wall, are the words, "I love you."
Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm. Okay. Are there like any marks or anything that stands out or anything?
What, in the room? You want to go look in the room?
Yeah.
So you invisible your way into the room and find the bedroom. She is still mounted on the wall. They're taking pictures. The investigators, taking notes. They're getting ready to get her down, like any minute. And
Mhm.
you can see the writing next to her. Big, bold letters that were written with a handprint, not a fingerprint.
Oh wow.
So there's blood across the room. There's blood on the bed. They've got little flags all over the room, marking evidence to be collected.
Am I able to like put my finger in the blood and taste it without coming out of invisibility?
Just make me a stealth check. And make me a stealth check based off of wits and stealth. You're trying to do it at a point where no one is actually paying attention to it, so that you
Okay.
can draw attention, but you're not breaking right into their view through it either. So stealth and wits.
I got 3 successes.
Yeah. Okay. You taste. It has a slightly different flavor, but you taste the same thing as you tasted from the Fallen 20 years ago.
And if I were to try it like kind of in different areas of the room, like right by her body and maybe like across the room or whatever, it's all the same.
Actually, this. Yeah, I have that wrong. No, the blood is just hers. It's just human. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the blood is just hers.
Okay. So all of it's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
okay.
taste it from here. You taste it from there.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it's all the same.
It's all the
Okay.
same. It's all just hers.
And nothing else weird stands out. I don't see any of those like black flakes or anything.
Yeah, that's what you find. You
I
find
do
one
that.
of those little black flakes.
Okay. I don't think I have notes from back then.
Me neither. I have it in a notebook somewhere.
Okay. I thought I did. But I guess not. Oh, yeah, I do. They're somewhere else. Okay, well, anyway, sorry, I don't want to waste
Enemies
time.
are gathering now to take her down off the wall.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think I'd probably like post myself somewhere where I could just kind of continue to just watch everything and
You still have the
until
ability
it
to
gets
continue watching him for a little bit.
yeah, like watching him and kind of watching everything and mhm. So maybe like across the street on the roof or something.
Yeah. After a few more minutes, the detectives and the officers leave him alone. And he just goes and sits down on the curb. He's not crying. He's just sitting quiet.
I'm gonna text Jessica.
Okay.
How long has it been?
Since you woke up?
Yeah, since like we've seen each other.
Oh, you probably saw each other yesterday.
Oh,
It hasn't
okay.
been too long.
I'm gonna text
You are a
Jessica then.
coterie with a job. So
Okay. I'm gonna
you
text
all
Jessica.
know the van is coming tonight. You
I
have
do or
some
I
other
don't?
things to do. No, he
Oh,
told you
okay.
he's bringing it tonight.
Okay.
So you all
All
know
right.
the van is coming tonight, but you needed to do this, and
All
Jessica
right.
needed to do what she's doing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna text her and tell her, Carl.
Neither of you guys' things are taking all night. So.
Right. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna text her and tell her that Carlos's mom has been murdered.
Okay. What do you text exactly?
That.
Exact texts are going to become important now, and exact words on phone calls.
Oh. Um.
Yeah, real fast, I wanted to interject just to clarify what you had said about the technology ban.
Yeah, it's okay.
Um,
Maybe I'll wait.
is that specific to like we should not just at all use technology,
Yes.
even if it's like as just normal people?
Yeah, I mean, you can use technology like as normal people, but don't have any kind of an online presence, and anything that you do as far as kindred, uh, I can't think of the word I'm talking about. Talking to each other, needs to be done with messengers, the way it was done 30 years ago, before there was
Yeah,
technology.
yeah, yeah. So it'd be okay if I like, or if any of us, called to order pizza,
Yep.
but it's not okay to use it for any kind of messaging, and we should completely just avoid the internet.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily looking
Okay.
up stuff, but sometimes, you need to be extremely careful.
Yeah, got it.
Way
All
more
right, I'm
Be
careful
gonna
careful
than
wait.
how
people
you
think.
use the internet.
Exactly. Because they're looking. And just the fact that you're awake at night means that you're already on their radar because they don't have so many people to watch. So,
Okay. Never mind. I'm just gonna wait. I forgot that the technology is a big thing now.
okay.
Okay.
You pull out your phone reflexively and then change your mind.
Yeah. And go. Oop. They're not.
You watch them and you get your touchstone fulfilled.
Okay.
We can end your scene there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Let's do Jessica's scene.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that next.
Okay. So Jessica is visiting with. Actually, pulled up a thing for you. I made one with
Cool.
Aaron Hopkins and his new childer, and you have met them before. That's the surveillance van. Here. Okay.
I like your choice for Aaron Hopkins.
Yeah, that's me. Okay, so yeah, Aaron Hopkins looks like a more handsome version of me. I mean, this is a little too loud. Let me turn it down. The other one will be too. Because they're both low. The other one did sound like it was too loud, so. Okay. So they are set up in an abandoned elementary school underneath it. And Aaron has set it up much the same way as his old haven, which you had saw before, where he kind of makes it homey, and it's got like a library and a study, and so it's mostly the same as that. But he has found this neon sign and has it hanging in the meeting room, like in the open hall where there's a couple of old couches, and it says, "Think about things differently," and differently is upside down.
I like it.
Yeah. So his new children that you have met before. You might not be close with them, but you've met them before. Uh, Melissa has been kindred for about 3 years, and Dr. Walter Triton has been kindred for about 1 year. So both of them are still fledglings under Aaron Hopkins, and he's doing a much better job taking care of them than he did with you. Of course, given the situation, he wasn't allowed to take care of you at
Right.
the time. So, well, as you enter, then Melissa, who has paint smudged on her face, she is a painter. She gets excited. She is always excited. And when she sees you, she goes running over to hug you, screaming, "Big sister!" And she goes running over to hug you.
So I guess I go ahead and give her a hug.
Okay.
Hey, how
And
you doing, kiddo?
Everything's great. Everything's great. Erin said you were coming, and she grabs your arm and leads you over and sits down on the couch and pulls you down with her. Erin Hopkins is sitting in a lounging armchair, and he seems to be, if you remember, he kind of has a different personality every day. He's got like a different sense of how strong of a person he is every day. And today, he seems to be Mr. Casual. He is dressed completely casual in a t shirt and jeans. He doesn't seem to be intimidated by you, inspired by you. He doesn't seem to be rising to confront you. Just happy go lucky, completely casual Erin Hopkins tonight.
Okay.
Dr. Walter is in the other room reading. He is often in the other room reading. He seems to be of the, not necessarily, I was going to say he's of the opinion, but that's not quite right. He just feels like he was kidnapped and stolen out of his life.
Gee, couldn't imagine how that feels.
So that's the brother you have. You have crazy painter sister who's always happy about everything, and then crazy doctor brother who is sad that he was stolen from his old life. But he seems to be, content with continuing his own education.
Okay.
Welcome, Jessica. It's been a while.
Thank you. How's it going?
Everything's been pretty great. Baron Vincent's been treating us well. How about you? How's everything over in your neck of the woods?
It's been pretty wild, to say the least.
Tell us a story. And Melissa gets excited. Yeah, tell us a story, sis. Tell us a story.
Once upon a time, there was a crack dealer. And he didn't really care about people because he's always about his money and how good he felt. So then one day along came 5 jumping choyas. And they just sat there and he ignored them because he didn't think the choyas could hurt him. But he got a little aggressive. And then the next thing, he couldn't get the choyas off of him. Eventually, he had wounds that they festered, and he died because he wasn't a healthy person. The end.
I loved it, Melissa says.
Of course.
Well, that was interesting. That was interesting.
I don't have a lot of offhand tell me a story things, sorry.
That's okay. She gets excited just to see you. You should have saw her when I told her you were coming around tonight. So the reason I called you here was we, and he mostly looks at Melissa when he says that, we want to talk to you about joining with Baron Vincent. Again, the same conversation we've had a few times before.
Ugh, why do you want me to join up with Vincent?
And Melissa says, why do you not want to join with Uncle Vincent? Uncle Vincent is great.
Because I like my independence. I like being my own person.
You can be your own person and still be part of the people.
All right, so off to the side here. Am I sensing any kind of a? How can I sense a blood bond, or if he did anything silly like that?
Well, I mean, But no,
Okay.
it's not that easy to sense. You can't just sense it.
Well, I knew I have
Could,
to be like within
one
sniffing
of the
distance of
powers
them.
that you haven't taken out of your lore sheet would allow you to taste the blood bond to check if there is one. But you know Aaron Hopkins is very much against blood bonding. He doesn't even make ghouls.
Okay.
He does, however, like to fuck with people's brains until they might as well be blood bonded. So, there's that. Like he did to Jeremy.
Got it. So, why? I see no benefit here.
The benefit, and this is Aaron says, the benefit, of course, is that you become part of a group that will have your back, be able to support you when you need support. Not just
All right.
being the prince's whatever you are.
I am a part of a group.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, they're
part of a
wacky, but not
small
as wacky as you are. It's a
you're
small
part
group,
of a
but
coterie, but you can be part of something bigger. Something with more resources and more power, and you can still remain part of your coterie.
Aaron, I'm not about the power.
I know you're not. But there are benefits to it that I think you're not understanding. And there are penalties. There are penalties to being independent that I think you're not understanding. And that's that nobody can trust you.
I can trust me.
Well, of course you can trust you. You're you. But how do the anarchs feel when you refuse to take up their causes? And how does the Camarilla feel when you refuse to accept their blood bond? And how do you face off against one without the support of the other?
I don't know if you remember this, but the Anarchs actually kind of sheltered us during the first bit.
I know. All the more reason to join with the anarchs.
I don't need to be a part of the group to be an asset to everything. I'm not going to be any part of anybody's power
No,
play.
well, yeah. I mean that is part of the game right there. That different sides want you to be part of their power play, and that's just part of being human. But the benefits outweigh the penalties, at least as far as the anarchs are concerned. I mean, when I was part of the Camarilla, I couldn't say that the benefits outweighed the penalties, as the penalties were quite severe. At least for me, for our clan, the penalties were quite severe. We had no recognition. I kept being chased out of court because,
I remember that.
yeah, King James didn't want anything to do with me. Didn't want anything to do with our clan. But
You
look
weren't
what
very coherent, though.
I wasn't coherent. I mean, I have good days and bad days. But Baron Vincent is much more understanding of our situation and how he can use us and how he can help us use him. You don't have to make your decision tonight. We just, Baron Vincent, as well as myself and Melissa and even Walter, we just wanted to make sure that you're still considering the offer. That you know we haven't ruled you out. That you're still welcome.
As long as you're not threatening me, then we can all exist happily,
Of
okay?
course I'm not threatening.
We have
I mean, well, there'll be times when maybe I'm more threatening because that's who I am. Sometimes I'm more threatening, but don't read anything into it. That's just me. But no, there's no threat here, and there's no threat from Baron Vincent. It's just he's just making an offer. You
Oh,
guys already have in your coterie a member of Prince James's own little Camarilla crew, and you have a member of Baron Valentina's own little Anarch crew, but you don't have a member of Baron Vincent's little Anarch crew. The closest thing you have is you having a tie to me, and that's honestly it's not a very strong tie, so it's not, Baron Vincent feels kind of left out. But if we were to bring you in, everything would all of the all of the power would come into balance as far as your coterie and the Watchmen go, and that's really what he's looking for.
no. Sorry. Not now.
Well, I'll let him
I
know.
kind of like being Switzerland.
Yeah, I'll let him know. And honestly, it's probably a good thing that there is a Switzerland in your little mashed up coterie from all these different sectors. All of these factions at play. It's probably good that there's somebody in there who's trying to not be on a side. Well, what generation are you?
Oh, crap. Let me look.
I'm looking too.
I want to say I'm 5th.
Oh, you're not fifth.
13th.
13th.
Not.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, 13th. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking of, the whole 5 degrees of separation from what's that actor?
6 degrees.
Oh, is
Kevin
it
Bacon.
6?
Yeah.
I thought it was only
If
Yeah.
5.
if you were
No.
12th generation, which I guess is what he is, then you guys would continue to have a conversation about maybe you should add to the clan. But no, you're not strong enough to add to the clan, which means neither Melissa nor Dr. Walter are either. So it's all up to him. Because any of you guys' babies is going to be thin blood.
Yeah.
I'm 11th.
Yeah, that's much better.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I could still sire some decent.
Yep.
Go spread that wild oats. Sow those oats.
Well, we are still looking to bring new members into the clan. Have you met anyone that you might suggest?
If I identify anybody, I'll let you know.
Okay. Also, keep your eye out for any traveling Malkavians. Maybe we can convince somebody to stay. There have been some travelers around lately, especially coming out of LA.
Yeah, that kind of worries me.
Yeah,
Do you know anybody in LA?
no, no. I heard of the asylum, the club that was there, that was run by our clan, but I don't. I hadn't never been there. It was just a nightclub like any other, as far as I know. So no, I don't have any ties to there. I don't have any ties to anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, in your investigations, you'll come upon some traveling Malkavians, and maybe you can convince them to stick around.
Okay.
We need to raise our generation somehow, and it's either that or it's taking the power of the spot, and that would be you, not us. guess if you get any chance to take the power of the Sabbat, maybe you should do it. We need as much power as we can if we're ever going to become a serious clan in the city.
Well, we did steal one from them. Granted, he was a fledgling.
Oh, the gangrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing and all, but as far as our clan goes, it doesn't really help. But that was a great thing. So yeah, maybe you can find some Malkavian anti-tribune and steal him over. That would be great.
Yes, well, we'll go be the Sabbat evangelists.
Yeah.
Anti-Sabbat evangelists.
Yeah. And maybe you don't have all of Baron Vincent's support, but you have ours, right? It doesn't matter.
Most definitely.
It doesn't matter what mood or what state I'm in. I may bitch about it. I may be angry with the idea, but we're always here to help you.
I know you are.
Okay.
So, what is my buddy Dr. Walter working on today?
I don't know. More biology, I think. He loves that biology. I don't know. It's the workings of the mind that have always come to me, not life. I mean, we don't even fit in biology anymore. I don't understand why. It takes up all of his desires. The mind.
Biology supports the brain.
It does. It does. I don't think he's learning much about the mind as much as he's learning about the brain. But to each his own. We need to have different skills if we're going to grow as a clan. I still think he's going to make a great Malkavian one day.
Should take him running with us once.
How about you, Jessica? How are your seer powers turning out? Have you had any other problems? Do you have it under control now?
Yeah, pretty much, mostly. I have to rouse more to for the control, but it seems to be more useful now.
Melissa here is going to be quite the seer, I think. Maybe more powerful than me. Not that I'm particularly powerful at it myself. But I think she's going to outshine both of us. She's happy and
Is
excited and grinning from ear to ear.
is that so, huh?
I use paints.
Awesome. Well, we need all the seers we can, just as keep an eye out for the Sabbat and stay ahead of them.
Maybe the Second Inquisition as well.
You're not wrong.
Well, we won't take any more of your time. You're welcome to stay and chill with us tonight, but I know you have other businesses you might need to tend to. So it's up to you if you want to stay or if you want to go. We've discussed what we needed to discuss.
I'll sit around and watch Melissa paint until the guys. I'm staying out of the way of the guys. They're expecting. They're getting a van tonight.
They're getting a van. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come, let's paint. And she stands up and grabs your arm and leads you over to a room where she's got an easel board set up. Okay.
Cool.
And we'll just leave you there and make our way over to, I don't know, where do you guys want to receive your van? Do you want to be at the gym or do you want to be at the bar? The bar, by the way, is about to have its grand opening. It is open, but it's going to have its grand opening like sometime this week, next week, because it's Friday. So. where are you guys gonna meet with Masters?
Where's gonna be the best place for us to keep that van, guys? At the gym or at the bar? The bar, I'm assuming we'll have like security hired and all that.
Yes.
And I'd probably
You
vote the
guys
bar
also
just
have
because
access to
Angry
bar
Osos is.
the abandoned
Yeah.
hotel.
Oh well, if it's by the motel, I think that's probably the best place.
You guys have that.
I feel like it'd look more out of place by the Angry Osos, so I think the bar makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
Plus, it'd be good to
at the bar.
it'd be good to get that in a place that is separate from the gym, just because that's Hector's place.
Right.
So it'd be ideal for his home to not be our meeting spot, just for his own safety generally.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I know this guy's last name is Masters. What was his first name? Eric? That's what I have in my head. Yes, Eric.
I think it was. Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, the bar is open. It's nice now. It's a small bar. There's only room for like an occupancy of 50, max occupancy around 50, which of course it is not at because the whole COVID thing and most people are still not going out drinking all the time. Even though it's Friday, it's about half occupancy. Marcus is running the bar. He is your liaison to Cynthia Villarreal, who owns the club.
Ooh.
And yeah, so you guys are waiting for Masters to show up, and he shows up. Not, you guys have been here. You woke up, did your business. You haven't been here for too long before he arrives. Also, during the past couple of months, he, on behalf of the Ventru, gave each of you a car. So, what kind of car did you guys get?
Oh.
Everybody got.
What are the constraints?
I got.
I think he was only willing to spend about $75,000 on each car.
Oh, only?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Only.
Only
no! What a cheapskate!
this guy.
So I can't remember what it was, but once I rented a car that had a heads-up display, and it always like updated the speed limit as soon as I passed the sign, and it would like display the road that I was approaching, and everything. It was the best thing ever.
Okay, yeah.
I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your car does that.
Wait, but what? No technology problems there?
I don't know. Maybe. You should go ask.
I have Tech
Yeah.
1, so I can do that.
Oh no, I meant band-wise.
Oh,
Well, he gave.
Yeah. I just got a 2014 Honda Accord black because I'm just looking for something that does not stand out in any way.
That's what I'm gonna do too. But I want to get whatever is the absolute most common basic car in the same common.
Okay, he
You know what I
knows
mean?
exactly what that is, and you got
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I think it is silver. At least it was silver when I looked at it like 20 years ago.
Okay.
In real life,
Yeah.
like 20 years ago, I looked up what the common. I even knew what model
With-
it was.
With the extra money though, since he was like up to 75, I would just get like a reinforced trunk and like not major modifications, but yeah, just like a reinforced trunk, so it's not like easy to
Like an
break
armored
into.
truck, so you could throw a guy in there, or even hide in there yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What did Hector get?
Hector wants a Dodge Charger. 2021 is or 2022. Tricked out, like with like the engine souped up, everything you could do to No, like basically like a Fast and the Furious car,
Okay.
and built really for speed and handling and all that shit.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
What did Craig get?
Volkswagen Beetle. He doesn't know cars. That's literally the only thing that came to mind.
Okay. Yep. You got
That's
yourself a
awesome.
Volkswagen Beetle. Do they still make those? If they still make those, you got a new one. Otherwise, you got whatever the newest model was before they stopped making them. The second time. They did stop
Well,
making
there's
them a
a-
long time ago, and then they started again. I don't know if they're still doing it.
Well, there's. Okay, well, I'll get the latest one later.
Yeah.
I'll
I don't see them
mail
around
you.
all the time anymore. It's the only reason I wonder if they're still like 15 years ago. I was seeing them around all the time. Okay. Yep. So you guys all got your reward for that, and the van, the surveillance van that Masters is getting for you, he's getting for you, not the Venture. And that
Okay,
this
so
was explained to
personal
you
gift.
as because it's his gift to help you guys do your job, and he doesn't even want what's the Venture leader's name? I forgot. Not Goldman, the legit Venture leader's name in the city.
Um,
My leasing page still.
That doesn't
Timothy
matter.
Hale. Yeah, he doesn't even want you guys to bring it up to Timothy Hale because, and this was what he told you. It is entirely possible that you guys will use this van to investigate Venture. And he said the way he said Venture was like maybe you'll need it on Hale, maybe you'll need it on Goldman. He doesn't want them to. He doesn't want the gift to have come from them to where you are like under constraints where it shouldn't be used on them.
Asked.
So
Oh,
it took him a
that's-
while to get it. That's why you guys didn't get it in like a week. It took him a while.
Well, that's quite the
Find the right
ethical integrity there.
Can I bring up one thing I think we would have wanted to discuss before he got there? And by the way, which of us are there to receive the van?
Just me and you.
Yeah, it's up to Craig. It's up to Jimmy if he wants Craig to be there with you guys, or if he wants.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
Okay, then yeah, Craig's back with you. Oh, and by the
So,
way,
all right, we've got this.
Craig has a bodyguard now. I will
Oh yeah,
put that guy's face up real quick and put him on here in our NPCs.
like a vampire bodyguard or a human bodyguard?
He's human.
Oh, he's got a human bodyguard. It's weird.
But why?
Probably to keep tabs on him so he doesn't screw up.
You guys were.
Wait, you didn't? I mean, would this be something that we
I'm not
talked
the only
about
one
with
who
Craig
thought he
before
needed
now?
a
Or?
babysitter.
I thought it was gonna be like an introduction type deal. I don't know if he explained it later because like are they just meeting now for the first time after 2 months?
Well, that's up to you guys. I mean, I'm sure they went and checked in on you and stuff while you were with.
Yeah. Plus, Hector would be checking in on Craig. You know, maybe nightly or every other night or something like that, just because you know, taking responsibility for him.
Yeah, same.
Let me put this guy's name so that maybe we don't keep forgetting it all the time.
Michael Bright.
Eric Masters. I'll put Michael Bright on there. Eric Masters.
Who
He's not here yet, but he'll be.
who is this fool's Michael's master?
Michael Bright. Okay, so yeah, the first thing we'll do is have Craig show up with Michael for the arrival of the van, and Masters isn't here yet. So early in the
Is this guy really dressed like this? He comes around with a hood and
well, I
an
mean, he
18th
doesn't
century.
have he doesn't have the shotgun out, but he is in a hoodie and
Out.
he's got he's got a COVID mask, not the ninja mask.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, that would make it less unnerving. Slightly.
But he is masked, and
Hmm.
he's got a hoodie on, and he just seems to have this general cross between a soldier and a huntsman kind of vibe to him. He's got just when you see him, he's got the sidearm, and he's got this big ass Bowie knife strapped to his left leg.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And you can tell, from the alertness of his eyes, as he sees you, that he's a soldier. So, yep. And Krieg is home, and he's got.
Do we want to determine if we've met this Michael guy before, if this is a new phenomenon, or
You have not.
we've
I was
not?
gonna ask, like, is Craig allowed to talk about why he's there to them, or like, is the information like?
You can.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you how much you want to reveal of that.
Oh, I mean,
She approached. Oh, by the way, because I didn't tell you this, when you got contact from her, you were delivered. This guy arrived and delivered to you a briefcase. He waited in another room while you took the briefcase and opened it. Inside the briefcase was an old telephone, like a 1930s telephone where you pick up the little speaker thing, hangs on the. You got the speaker in one hand and you just talk into the phone, and the rotary, and it is plugged into a small black box inside of the briefcase. There's no wire coming out of it. Once you opened it, the phone rang, and you had your conversation with her, and she told you that she's going to keep an eye on you, and that this man, Michael Bright, is here to protect you and report to her. So you don't have a very strong understanding of what's going on.
Okay, so just who she is and what the guy's there for.
Right.
Okay.
She probably didn't even tell you a whole lot about who she is, other than that she is Ventru, and that she is very high in the Camarilla, and is interested in your development.
Okay.
Okay, now, Craig shows up at the Scarlet Song with this soldier guy. Go.
Alright. Hey, Craig.
What's up, kiddo?
Hey guys, how's it going? Ready for the van?
Oh, yeah. Excited.
Who's this dude?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. The only thing I can say, because it's the only thing I know, is he gave me a phone. Somebody in the Ventru who's apparently pretty high up says that he's here to watch me and watch over me, and that's kind of all the information I have. We can do guesses or later on, but I really don't. I'm not sure. Just my development is interesting. It's been an
Did she
interesting.
give you a
development.
name? Who's the venture you were talking to?
Hey, Marcus, can we go to the back room real quick?
You sure can, man. He goes over and
I gesture for. Yeah, I just for everybody to follow me. Prefer to talk to it in private.
Cool. So we move to that side room, and then I just
Michael
ask
Porter
again.
with you.
All right. Well, I'm asking Craig at this point. Who did you talk to on the phone? Who was in the venture? What was it? Cynthia?
I don't think so. I'm assuming she had an accent, right? Like a Spanish accent?
No. She does not have a Spanish accent.
No, I don't think it was Cynthia.
Didn't she give you a name when she talked to you?
No, it was more of a. How do I say this? Oh, she
She
did?
said her name is Fiorenza, and that you
Okay.
need only call her ma'am.
Okay, so it's okay. I see where I got her from. Yes. As far as I'm concerned, to me she is ma'am, but she goes by the name Fiorenza.
So Mike, Bright is sitting in the room right now, right?
He's not sitting, but yeah, he's in the room. He's standing guarded.
Is Bright? Oh no, wait, he's standing in the room. Hey, Bright, get lost. Stand outside while we talk.
Can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that?
Can't do that.
Can you talk to us?
Bodyguard.
I'm gonna step.
Bodyguard.
I'm gonna step up to him, like chest to chest, staring in his eyes, and say, "You are going to walk outside that door, or go outside that door, one way or the other."
No, I'm not.
And without breaking the gates, without breaking the gates, ask Craig.
Hector,
Craig, tell
Hector.
him to step outside.
Michael, could you please step outside for a moment, or just well, how about this?
Take orders from you.
All right, and then I said, without breaking my gaze
Hector.
from him again,
Hector,
I'm asking him out of I just asked him out of courtesy to you because I don't want to hurt you. But I'm going to ask you one last time. If you don't step outside, I'm going to force you outside,
Hector.
and it's not going to be nice.
Hector, I'm gonna put my hand on Hector's shoulder.
Yeah, that's what Craig was gonna do too.
Relax for a second. You know how this person's venture. You know how these political games go. Let's not make enemies with people that we don't know. We can change our conversation. We can, we don't have to say everything just because he's here.
I mean, if
Fuck
you wanted
that, bro. I told him step outside, and this motherfucker's going outside one way or the other. If you want to make this less violent, you could dominate him. But in a second, I'm about to show him how he's not the big man in this room.
Let's okay. First of all, hold on. Craig kind of waves his hands. Does the name Forenza mean anything to anybody?
This is why I want this motherfucker to step outside of the room before we start talking about things like that, because he works for her. So I want to be able to have an open discussions without worrying about what this dickhead's gonna hear or take back. And I still have not stopped locking eyes with him the whole time.
Out of character, does that name ring a bell to me at all? Out of character, Jack.
No, I know, but I mean, Hector at this point, he just asked us about, and this motherfucker's telling him no. And from Hector's point of view, there's no position. He's setting this the first time he's meeting him, he's setting the standard right now. This guy's a human. He does not tell us what the fuck to do. We tell him what to do.
Does Jack know that name at all? Or could I make a check for it?
Your ties to both the sheriff and the prince. Yeah, make me a D10 roll.
D10? Okay.
The higher you get, the stronger your knowledge.
Slightly above average.
She is the Prince of Mexico City and took Mexico City from the Sabbat and started the La Sombra's change from the Sabbat to the Camarilla.
Oh.
She is perhaps the biggest name of the Ventru in the United States, and she's not even that old. She's only about the same age as Prince James.
Krieg, say that name one more time to me.
Fiorenza? Sorry, hold on. Let me.
Fiorenza Savona. Michael Bright says.
Fiorenza Savona.
Savone. Oh shit, Hector. She's like top dog.
I don't give a fuck. She's not standing here right now. This dickhead is. And I put my finger on his forehead. I don't give a fuck. He said, we want to have a conversation. I don't work for her. She doesn't get to come in and spy on all my conversations and follow Craig around like that. That's fucking stupid. The guy can wait in the other room.
Look, Hector, we don't have to talk about this stuff in front of him.
I just told him to step outside of the fucking room, and I don't want to. Fuck that. And I asked the guy.
Top Ventru in the U.S.
I don't know. I asked him, "Are your orders to not leave the room with him? Not when to shit. Not when he fucking goes to eat. Not when he sleeps. You stand there the whole fucking time."
It's my job to keep him safe.
He's safe. He's in this room with us.
I don't know you.
He's part of our fucking coterie, dickhead.
Okay,
Go stand outside.
Let's calm down. Let's. Okay.
No, fuck that, dude. This guy has
Hector,
fucking 10 seconds to step outside the room. Then I'm gonna fucking knock his ass out and throw him out there.
Hector, is this the warrior's way to attack somebody who's standing there? He's not threatening you.
I told him to leave. I told him to leave the room.
Yes.
We need to talk. We need to talk openly. And this guy just said he just needs to make sure you're safe. And he's interpreting his orders a lot more strictly than I would think that any Kindred would give those orders.
How about this? You and Jack can stay in here, and I'll go outside this door, and I'll stand with him. You two can talk lower amongst yourselves, and if you need to ask me a question, you can call to me through the door. This way, everybody wins. He's still with me.
I'm looking at this dude like, you are really lucky that these guys are here right now. Because this would have gone a completely different way. You're being a dickhead. You don't have to be in the exact same room. He's fucking safe. Now step outside with him since he wants to go out there with you.
Yeah, come on.
Yep, he follows Krieg out.
Okay.
When he says, I don't know you, I said, I didn't ask you to talk, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Step outside. Keep testing me.
Seem intimidated by you at all.
Okay, Hector. So this God, I can't remember her name. I need to write it down. What it starts with an F?
Fiorenza
Savona.
Yep.
Okay. Can you just type that out so I can write it down real quick?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so Fiorenza Savona, she is the you said the prince. Or would they use the term princess or just prince? Mexico City. Prince, okay. So she's Prince of Mexico City. Took it from Sabat, and you said she's like the top Ventru in the U.S.
Arguably, yes.
Is that like all of the Americas?
Arguably, possibly.
Wow. Okay.
It's a very big deal that she turned the La Sombra.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Hector. Savona is... First of all, she took Mexico City from the Sabat. She led the attack. She turned the La Sombra from Sabat to Camarilla. So she basically is like a power player in the war. Think of her like a 5-star general or field marshal during World War II. Like freaking like Patton or someone. Like, not only that, she's basically the #1 Ventru in the whole Western Hemisphere. So the fact that she is allegedly involved in Craig is just insane. And second, whoever that guy is probably like an expert killer. So why would this makes no sense? Why would there be any connection to Krieg? Like, you have any ideas, Hector?
Yeah, why don't we take it to our leaders and figure this out? You take it to Prince James. I can run it to the Anarch side.
That's a good idea. I
Because
mean,
what she's effectively doing is she's running a spy around. She's running this guy around to spy on Craig. Here's killer or not killer. I don't know what the hell. He's a human, bro. I'll wipe this guy out in a heartbeat, no problem. Wipe the floor. So he's not going to come in here setting rules. He's been told to keep Craig safe. That doesn't mean that he has some kind of right to do whatever he wants as a human. Think about how crazy that would be if every human that worked for a powerful vampire was just to be feared by vampires. They're not the same as us. They're not on our level. He doesn't get to tell us what to do. I'm telling you, if he pulls this shit again, I'm gonna knock him out and then throw his body into the next room. And then when he wakes up, we're cool again. If he tries something, I knock his ass out again, and we keep doing this. And if Fiorenza has a problem with it, she comes to us and complains about it. So your guy acted out of line.
If she has a problem with it, she could have. We don't want her to have any potential problem with it at all.
So you think that Prince James is just okay with some kindred from outside of his jurisdiction?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to him, but I'm saying if you lay your hands on that guy in any way, it could start a shitstorm bigger than you're even considering is possible. She dwarfs.
I want to break out of character real fast and ask: is this something, Sestonn, that we would know? Because that doesn't. My understanding wouldn't be that that's what happens.
Not you.
What's that?
You don't have much understanding of.
Oh, I wouldn't have a different understanding. All right.
Yeah. Well.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I definitely don't think on my level, right? I'm not thinking that some human has some ability. Like in my experience, in my character's experience, I haven't seen any situations where humans are like have some kind of authority over me because they happen to work for another like a more powerful kindred, right?
Well,
yeah, fuck this guy. That's how I'm acting.
What's his name had some level of authority. What was that old dude's name?
You talking about Prince James's right hand bodyguard?
That guy had a level of authority.
Well, he couldn't tell us what to do. Though we just know we're probably not fucking him up like seriously.
He could have.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
He could have as a messenger for
the
prince.
Yeah.
If he's passing a direct message, right? But then that's different than this guy saying, "Hey, I've been ordered to keep tabs and follow this guy around, and I have to make sure he's safe." And in my opinion, it's the same rule. It's the same room. What I would say to Fiorenza after I fuck this guy up, I say, hey, all I did was knock him out. He was being disrespectful. We were right in the next room. He didn't have to be standing in the exact same room. I was asking for privacy, and I think he was being a little strict with his interpretation.
Yeah, and from the Jack perspective and the Venture perspective, people are representatives of who their masters are, and a slight against them can be a slight against the master, and I have no way of knowing how, one, based on her position and how that guy reacted to Hector's threats, my gut is telling me that seems to have no fear for a reason, and two, I have no idea what this guy's position is relative to her or how she would react to anything happening to him. And if she would, I don't know why she cares about Krieg, but I also don't know if she basically wouldn't bat an eye of saying, oh man, screw this Anarch guy that I don't know, have him, assassinated. Like, I have no idea what her temperament is. It's just that she's basically, like I said earlier, she's like a 5-star like field marshal, and we're like infantrymen.
So Sestonn, from my experience and my character's experience in this last 20-year jump and what he's observed, right? Would he believe that the Anarchs would have his back if some stupid shit happened where like some human representing a Camarilla that's not even in Hector's not in her chain of command or anything like that, right? And human gets out of line, he smacks him or knocks him out or forces him to leave the room or whatever it is, and then she comes back and then wants to murder Hector. He's pretty.
Is not something you even do amongst the Anarchs.
Wait, say that last part again. What is that?
Smacking around a superior's ghoul isn't even something you do among the Anarchs.
But she's not even in my chain of command. I don't give a fuck about this lady.
Right.
I'm not Camarilla.
Right.
So if she just came at me over that kind of shit, wouldn't the Anarchs have my back rather than let some Camarilla bitch that's not even in his chain
of power?
Hmm.
If it's dangerous for them.
Well, I'll tell you, Hector's not fair.
Yeah.
Oh, Hector's gonna have little tolerance for this human guy, but I mean, the situation was diffused at this point, but he's not. I mean, this is gonna be a recurring problem if this guy's acting like an asshole.
Back into character. Why don't we just wait for the van, get the van, and then let's head straight to Prince James and talk to him about the situation and see if he has more information as to what's up with this.
This dude Bright, I don't even want him here when the van comes. So
right,
maybe Craig needs to leave.
Go somewhere else.
Because then he's just fucking spying. He's spying on everything we're getting.
Why don't we have Krieg go to the oh shoot, what's it called? The Rose?
That's where you are.
Rose Hotel?
Oh, okay, yeah, the Rose Hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we just have him go to the Rose Hotel preemptively? We'll end up going there anyway, see the prince. That gets him out of here. He's just gonna follow Krieg.
Yeah, and by the way, does the prince know that we're receiving this van?
You don't know.
This van.
If you asked him, he said no.
Don't take it.
No. If you asked Eric Masters a long time ago if the prince knows about this, he said no. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I would have asked him because my concern now is that this van is full of technology, so it's possibly like a way to cross Prince James. So what if we would have told him before this van was coming when we had this conversation? I said, hey, look, I feel like we're going to have to tell the prince, and I got to tell, the Anarchs, because the prince has a pretty strict rule against technology, and I want to make sure that this isn't falling afoul of that.
What's going to be in this van?
It's a surveillance van. So it's going to have all kinds of high-end surveillance shit.
I don't think that's necessarily an issue because we're not communicating information, at least how I perceive it. It's more of a force multiplier in terms of eyes and ears. It's not something that would necessarily jeopardize what we are. Though it definitely would be suspicious if someone found that we had it. Like, just generally speaking. So
well, if there was no technology van, I don't really have a problem with it. But
yeah.
You know best how.
It is mostly communications technology that is being banned. But
okay,
you could follow Prince James's ruling to a T and refuse the van or not use it.
No, I probably wouldn't have brought it up. based on what this conversation we just had.
So you want to send Krieg to the hotel?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And I'll just crack the door. Hey, Krieg, go to the hotel. We'll meet you there later.
Alrighty.
Krieg and Michael Bright step outside of the back room. And Bright looks at you and says, your friend's kind of a dick.
He has certain expectations, and I think he wants, Greg said, pauses to think of the good words to think of it. He wants things done in a way that makes sense. If that makes sense. He has a worldview that he likes.
He's a hothead. You sure you want to be hanging around
I
with
think
someone
that.
like that? It's dangerous.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna get you killed.
Yeah, but I mean, he rescued me from a cage, so
No,
I trust
didn't
him.
know that. I was told you
Yeah, so
you were that you were rescued. I wasn't told the story behind it. What's the story? What can you tell me?
yeah,
Convince me that this man Hector is someone you should have on your side and not a danger.
well, he's not a danger to me. To others, yes, but to me, no. I can't really remember much of it. I just know I was turned and I got locked into a cage, and things got pretty dark. I remember there were dog fights, which now what I know is to purposely break me, and I was there for a few days until one day I wasn't Hector, and it didn't feel standard. Until
for them.
oh, I
Trying to break your mind. Yeah, that's standard.
well, it wasn't pleasant. Standard and well, and
sure it wasn't pleasant.
yeah, so
They weren't going for pleasant. They never do.
yeah. Well, and so yeah, I Hector came. He pulled me out of the chains. Him and the other members of the coterie, and he took me to Prince James, and they took him and Jack decided to take I guess guardianship of me, make sure I was okay. They volunteered to their name to help me get through everything.
And they're the Watchman coterie of the city?
Yes, the spines of the cactus.
I'm very curious what her interest is in you, Krieg.
Has she told you anything?
No.
I mean, that
It's
you
not
can
my
tell
job
me.
to
I
ask.
don't want you to get.
Yeah, it's not my job to ask, but I'm curious.
It was. It's been a rough 3 months. Everything's happened, so I basically have just been rolling on with the world.
Yeah, I wonder how you even got on her radar. Not even a year old yet.
I couldn't tell you. I would tell you if I knew. You probably could do better with the information than I have.
If she thought the information was important, I would know it. Okay, and then the door opens, and they tell you to go to the hotel. I'm driving.
Alrighty.
He thinks he's a better driver than you after your 2 days together.
Fair enough. You got paid to know how to drive, right?
Well, I get paid because I know how to drive, I suppose.
It helps. I'm sure.
Okay. Craig and Michael Bright are gone. And Eric Masters shows up just a couple of minutes later. And Mila can count down. In about 15 minutes, Mila arrives.
Okay, in like 15 real minutes
Yes.
starting right now?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Excuse me. Yep.
All right.
Eric Masters enters.
Does Eric come in, or does he wait outside?
No, he comes inside. He's kind of bobbing his head.
Glad to finally see you here.
In the bar. He walks over to Marcus. And Marcus, like, points at the back. And then Eric Masters comes and opens the back door. And he knocks.
Let him in. Shake his hand. Glad to see you here.
I hear you guys have ordered a surveillance van. Guess what I got for you? And he pulls out keys and jingles them.
Wow, bro, you're the man. Really appreciate you.
He tosses the keys
Why don't you?
to Hector.
I'll take it. No.
Thanks. Hector receives them.
Jack
All right,
looks
let's walk out and see
slightly
this.
disappointed.
He completely misses his toss to Hector. He's
Wait,
shit.
oh,
he is not.
Can I have a
I'll
chance
grab
to catch it?
Agile motherfucker.
Can I try to catch it?
Yes. In fact, both
So
of
we're
you
both
guys,
trying then.
because he sucks so bad. He obviously, judging from his eyes, he was trying to throw it to Hector, but the keys are not going that way. So yeah, both of you guys can make a dexterity and athletics check, and whoever rolls the highest catches the keys and becomes the guardian of the van.
One success.
I gotta. So pull out my character sheet. Dexterity, you said?
Yeah, dexterity, athletics.
Oops, hold on. So here. I have a good deal in athletics too.
Let's go, baby!
Well,
It's a tie.
You guys, like, I don't know. What's something funny that happens?
You bump
guys
into
We both
grab
grab
the key
parts
and
of
now
it.
you're tugging at it. Mine.
Oh shit! You already have a van, Hector.
No, it was already. This was obviously for me. I'm the one that. This is my idea.
Fine. I let go because I can't argue with that logic.
Oh, you guys.
So,
Well, let me.
don't
show
worry,
you
you get to drive it too, bro. This is all of
Oh, I
ours.
know.
I am not that much of a tech guy myself, so I can't tell you all the cool shit it does. But there's a book. So.
Oh.
But I can show you a few things that I do know. Come on. Let me show you.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, and he's heading he's excited to be sharing this with you. So, it's just a black panel van.
Okay.
And he opens up the back, and you've got some computer screens and a desk chair. I wrote down some stuff. Okay. So he turns on the computers, but he gets down into underneath the computers. There's a drawer he pulls out, and he opens it up. There's a case, and inside are two drones that look really fancy.
Like flying drones?
Yeah. And what else we got? And then he opens.
Sorry, you cut out. Did you say they were flying drones?
Yes. Yeah. They're flying drones.
Okay, wow.
And then he pulls out another
Nice.
drawer and opens it up, and he says, and there's just all kinds of things in here that you don't really recognize, or I guess maybe Jack recognizes some of it. We've got tracking devices and bugs and surveillance cameras. I can't tell you which is which. That's what the guy said. It's all in the book. There is a
You got thermal imaging cameras?
probably. There's a book.
Cool.
Let's see. Okay. And then he sits down in the desk chair and turns and starts playing with the computer. He says, and we've got, of course, the computer's hooked up to the drones. It's hooked up to the cameras and all that stuff. You don't have to do very much to set it up, is what he said.
Okay.
And then we've got a couple of things that I had set up for you already. And he pulls up, and you've got 3 different cameras showing you different angles of the bar you were just in. The Crimson Song. So we've got cameras set up inside here already, so you can keep an eye on it if maybe you want to know what happened during the day, or you just need to watch something, or in the back room, and he clicks a button and it shows the back room where you guys were. The back room over here is got a camera in itself, so you could pretend to have like secret meetings back there, and then you can go back and watch it, or you could send people in there for a secret meeting and listen to anything they have to say or whatever.
That is useful.
Yeah. And then he clicks a key, and the whole thing switches, and you've got like the exact same setup, only of the Angry Oso gem.
Oh.
So here we've got I've got 5 different cameras at different places all over in the gym, so you can watch all of your guys, make sure everything's going according to how you want. You can keep a track of things that are happening during the day. It says, and I hear you got a lot of your own ghouls in there, so this is a way you can make sure that they're doing what you want them to do, that they're not having secret meetings to overthrow you or whatnot.
Gotcha.
And I didn't find any like secret hidden room in the gym. I do have one, and he goes and he shows the office. We got the office, but and he looks at Hector. If you're sleeping here, I don't know where it is. So maybe you want to put a camera to that, or like right outside of it or something, so that you could have a guy in here just be watching the hall. I don't know. Maybe you don't even sleep here. I don't know. I just kind of assumed you did, but then I couldn't find any creepy crawly place. So.
Gotcha.
I'd whisper to Hector. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got set up. And my guy, wrote out a book over here, and he's got like a 100-page bound printed book. That's not like.
Oh, he typed it up himself. Okay, I was wondering, like, was this like a kit you somehow bought? Like, it was.
Typed up himself instructions. You don't know what level of tech he assumes you know until you start reading it. But
oh God,
it is instructions.
Okay, if we start reading through it, what level of tech will we need to competently operate this?
Okay. Make me an intelligence technology roll to see how deeply you are understanding his instructions.
I don't have any
Technology and
technology.
Yeah, you're having trouble.
Technology and what?
Intelligence. Hector's understanding the bulk of it. It definitely goes into talk about shit you don't understand. But you are understanding the bulk of it. And his instructions...
I'm only Tech 1.
Yeah. His instructions are kind of straightforward, but sometimes they start talking about things you don't understand. But they are, for the most part, straightforward. So you probably won't be able to get the full effect out of your surveillance equipment, but you can use your surveillance equipment.
Okay. So I guess if I see Jack's having trouble, I'll say, don't worry, bro. I'm understanding, I think, most of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to study
it's way
the
more
later.
advanced than what we were using 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got like Bluetooth stuff, and that didn't exist, and who knows what else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's the wire?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how does the drone send? How's the drone
How does it
record?
know if it's not connected? Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Jack knows this technology, but he doesn't understand at all how it works.
Yeah, that's you seem to have about that same feeling from Masters. He knows the technology exists. He knows what it is, but it's not his deal.
Yeah.
Which maybe if it was his deal, he would have been able to put this together quicker. He had to find the right guys that he could trust, for the right price. Yeah.
Interesting.
But no, you guys are pretty happy with your van. It's it's a good van.
No, this is
Nice.
awesome.
Thanks so much, dude.
Phenomenal. The drone itself, the drones, if those have good cameras and we can get those working,
Yeah,
I think those.
He said it. I mean, I don't. He told me what kind of cameras it was, and I looked at him blankly, and he said, "They're good cameras, bro." So yeah, they're good cameras, bro. That's what.
Yeah, we're gonna have to test that out, but I think that'll be real useful.
Yeah, I got to fly one of the drones a little bit. That shit's fun. It's like those old remote control planes. Did you ever fly a remote control plane?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, only super more hard.
Oh.
Because it hovers,
God.
so it's not all going. It's like a cross between a radio control plane and a radio control helicopter with a camera on it. It's pretty neat.
Amazing.
All right, what you guys gonna call her? My money's
Oh,
on
what?
Cactus Mobile. His eyes are going back and forth between you guys.
What about the Desert Rose?
Desert Rose is actually kind of nice.
I mean, what's the
Cactus Mobile.
what's the cactus?
Tumbleweed?
No. Wait, tumbleweed is a cactus?
Well, no, I'm just saying, it
Okay.
moves in the desert, so that's what I was
Eric
thinking.
Masters looks into the eyes of Hector and puts forth a domination. So if you want to try and resist it, you can. I never made his character sheet, so he's gonna have something like.
Yeah.
He's gonna have something like 8 dice.
He's doing
have
it to
8
make
dice?
you name it the Cactus Mobile.
Okay, 1,
Oh my
2.
god.
I got 4 successes, and you resist it with. Oh, I almost remembered. Discipline powers, dominate, mesmerize. Intelligence and resolve. Oh, it's dominate and manipulation. Yeah, I rolled 8 dice. That sounds fine. Yeah.
Hell.
Intelligence and resolve.
Intelligence and resolve? Okay.
Two. He wins. And he looks at you, catches your eyes, looks at you, and he says, "Say that you want the name of the van to be the Cactus Mobile." And then he lets it go, and the power goes into you, and you say,
Do it.
And
Hey
you say-
guys,
you
we
say
should name
this
this.
completely out of character, like you're emotionless zombie.
Hey guys, we should name this the Cactus Mobile.
And then you wake up. You remember that happened, but now you're yourself again. And he laughs.
You did not
the
just
fuck?
do
It's the
that,
Cactus
Eric.
Mobile. You heard him say it. Yeah, it's the Cactus Mobile.
That's fucked up, Eric.
Dick
He's
move,
laughing
bro.
and- He's laughing and he goes to hug you, Hector. I'm sorry, man. I had to do it.
Oh.
Alright.
Easy.
You really want this thing to be named the Cactus Mobile? I mean,
No,
you gave
don't
it to
I
us.
don't give a shit. I thought it would be a fun joke.
What if we
Your
called
name, though,
it?
right? Yeah, you guys should totally name it the
Yeah.
Cactus Mobile. It doesn't need a name. It's just a van.
I mean, this may be dumb, but I was thinking the Saguaro, because that's like the biggest cactus. If we're wanting to name after a cactus.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't care. That's fine with me.
Desert Rose is actually kind of cool too. I bet.
Yeah, Desert Rose.
I
That's a
bet
good one.
That would get you some points with James if you ever decide to tell him that you got the Nike band.
That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I thought of the. Yeah, that's why I suggested it because the whole.
Yeah, I think it has to be the Desert Rose,
homage.
just so
Man,
James
that guy
will like
loves
it.
his rose imagery, doesn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
he's a Toreador.
I show up.
All right.
Hey.
Mila's here.
What's up, Lynn?
She sees the van outside and like the doors open and they're inside. So
Look at this boss ass shit right here.
Damn.
We got, and I open the drawer. I go, we got fucking. I'm like holding these. I'm like shaking them around like they're fucking poker chips. I'm like, we got some fucking drones, bro. Drones.
This is crazy. We're gonna need this here pretty soon, probably.
this is the cactus mobile.
Oh man.
This is not the cactus
No,
mobile.
what now?
It's the cactus mobile. Hector said it.
Yeah, he's being an asshole. No, it's called. I think we're gonna name her the Desert Rose. What do you think?
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I really like it.
Little homage. Yeah, an homage to the whole Thorns of the Rose and throw Prince James a bone.
Yeah, I think he'll really
If he ever learns about this thing,
Yeah.
which I don't necessarily. There's enough technology in here to make him nervous. I think so. Let's not volunteer it if we
Well,
don't
there's
need
not a
to.
whole lot of communication stuff. Like, I mean, there's a computer. You can just computer talk to another computer, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so
and we
I
could
guess
also,
it
yeah.
is, if you're gonna use it that way. Plus, I guess maybe the drones talk to the computer. I don't fucking know. Communication.
Yeah.
We're living in a world where we kind of got to cross the old technology with the new, and I understand that the new technology is bad and it's put a target on us because it's letting all the humans know exactly what we're doing and where we're going when they've got shit figured out. So we got to be really careful with that. That doesn't mean we need to completely abandon all of these great new tools, right? At least that's the way.
Yeah, and especially because we kind of really needed to do our job. That you know, really, it's kind of crucial.
Protect us from them. I mean, how are you gonna protect us from them if you're not even going to be using the same level tools? I mean, you don't take sticks to a gunfight.
Exactly. My thinking exactly.
Well, why don't we let's head to the hotel. We really appreciate everything, Eric.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And he gets out.
You're a stand-up dude, bro.
Thanks, man. Hopefully you guys can, catch all the bad guys and stuff. Yep. Do not let Timothy Hale know I gave you this, because I know eventually you're going to end up using it on not necessarily him, but somebody. And I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want him to know about it or to get in trouble for it. You know what I mean?
It just showed up in the yard.
It just showed up as, someone else gave it to you. It doesn't matter who gave it to you. Yeah. But the Venture did not give it to you, as far as the Venture know. The Venture didn't give it to you. This was my baby. This was me. So you don't owe the Venture any damn thing.
Well, we appreciate it, and we'll keep your name. Keep your name on the low.
Your fancy ass cars. So
we really appreciate those.
But this is off the books.
The Dodge, that Charger you gave me is a motherfucking beast. I love it.
Yeah. I don't drive myself. I gotta go. I prefer to just have a kick-ass, quiet ride back.
I get that. I'd like to feel the muscle, though.
Right. And he points as the limo pulls up outside in the parking lot of the bar. Okay, guys. Have fun with it.
Cool. Thanks, man. Good seeing you again.
Yep. And he gets in the fancy-ass limo and drives away. Probably the only limo in this side of town
Mhm.
All right.
Hey, when we
Well-
go see Prince James, so I want to catch Lynn up on.
Mhm.
Hey, so Craig came by earlier, and he's got this fucking weird human dude, quote unquote, bodyguarding him, but he's really a spy for some venture named Fiorenza.
Why does he need
So-
a bodyguard?
He said Fiorenza took a interest in him, and now she wants this guy there to protect him. So this guy says his orders are to protect and keep him safe. Right. What this effectively means, if we tell him to, we're about to talk, and this fool wants to stand in the room while we're having private conversations and stuff like that, that seems like a spy to me. I don't think Prince James would appreciate some other kindred sending a spy in, walking around constantly with his watchman coterie and knowing everything we're talking about.
Whose feet for what?
We'll talk on the
Fior-
car ride.
Yeah.
And then
You guys are in
I'll
the car.
uh,
In fact, Jessica
yeah,
might
I'll-
be getting here and getting in the car too if you want. Might as well.
sure.
In the cactus van or
It's
wobwhatever.
up to you guys
Cactus
if you're going to take
mobile.
the car or if you're going to take the.
Ooh, I prefer to not drive that one right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Not there.
Let's
So we're
not.
just getting in
Let's
like
take our Honda. Let's
because
take my
I
Honda.
assume we all took our independent cars to the hotel, right?
Yeah.
So are we all like getting in somebody's
Oh, I don't
car?
know if you guys are all taking independent cars to the hotel or not.
I prefer we all drive in one. Save gas.
Well, not to the hotel. Sorry, to the bar. To the bar.
Yeah, to the bar separate.
Okay, so we're all just piling in somebody's vehicle.
Yeah, we can come back then
That's cool.
after.
I don't think my Charger has enough room for
Mhm.
everybody. So
I probably have a regular old sedan of some sort.
Yeah, that's mine. Hey,
So-
not fully regular. Reinforced trunk.
I think Jessica also has some kind of regular sedan. It's just got some nice tech equipment.
I got fancy sedan.
Yeah.
Oh, we could
You're like
ride in our
fancy.
fancy.
caddy.
That's fine.
Which I only drive. And
Fair. I understand
Yeah.
why.
Mhm.
mhm.
You know,
All right.
it was literal road rage. It was the beast.
It was.
That's funny.
Fuck you.
Literal.
Thank you.
Okay, so
You guys are in the car. You can have
the
fun.
Let's get going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me who.
this
What?
Savona is her last name, so we'll just keep her at Savona for short. Prince of
Okay.
Mexico City. She's the one that beat the Sabat out of Mexico City. She also turned the La Sombra to the Camarilla. She's like top shit. Like #1 Ventru on this side of the planet, Western Hemisphere.
And how does she
Yes.
even know he exists?
I have no idea, and that's why we're hoping when we talk to James about it, we'll get more info if he has
That's
any insight. But I have a feeling it probably has something to do with the fact that he came from Sabat. Technically,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
that's the only thing I think of that makes him stick out.
Huh.
Maybe she wants to look at him as like a case study on if it's feasible for, Sabat kindred to be turned. But
Honestly, I think he needs a babysitter, but I don't know why she thinks he needs a babysitter.
Yeah. Well, and it shouldn't be someone that she hires. It should be someone we hire that we trust.
well,
Exactly.
That's odd.
Because that's what stands out to me. How do you just
Yeah.
how do you just decide imagine if this guy showed up on one of us and said, "Hey, I'm your bodyguard now. I'm gonna start following you around." I'd fucking knock that dude out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's the thing. Is she's that high up that she can pull crap like that.
Well, she just start spying on us?
I don't know.
And then you
Honestly,
think
I
Prince
think
James would
that's
just
what
let that slide?
I'm
I
gonna
think
poke
that's
him
what
and
it
lick
is.
him
We need to let
when we
James
get there.
know.
Yeah, that's why we're going to the hotel. But
Yeah.
on another note, because we can talk about this more there. But on another note, how do you all? And I've narrowed my eyes in the rearview mirror at Hector when I say this. How do you all feel about humans?
In what sense?
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, what do you think about? Obviously, we're all humans. What do you think about humans in relation to us? How much, and narrow my eyes at Hector again, how much value do they have relative to us?
Quite a bit.
I would argue equal. We're no better than them. Narrow my eyes at Hector again. In fact, I'd say we're parasitic. The world would be better if we didn't exist, but we're here.
Oh,
Is this a philosophical discussion, or is this a
I
just in
say
relation to this human dude?
philosophical.
What?
I don't. This isn't about him.
Oh, so you're not talking about that guy?
No, I'm talking about in general. Though the reason I bring it up is when you were talking to him and you said, humans don't tell us what to do.
Yeah.
He's
He's not in our ranks. Kindred have our ranks. He's not in our ranks. He's like an assistant. And he can pass messages, but he doesn't get to decide things and exert authority over any of us.
okay. So you meant it more in terms of a Kendrick hierarchy thing, not a you're a human. Humans don't get to say anything to me because they're just humans.
I mean, I'm not thinking about that. That's not even a thing to me.
Okay,
Nobody gets to tell me what to do. Unless you're somehow in my chain of command. And if you're not, then fuck off.
I get that. The way you had said it at the time gave me this feeling that maybe you thought all of a sudden that all us kindred were just so much better than humans, and I wanted to clarify if you thought that or not.
No, I don't even think about that. It's just we have a chain of command, and they're not in it. So a human certainly has no say in kindred affairs. That's just I'm not listening to them.
Well, I would say that he is a part of kindred affairs. It's a good analogy to use a police is basically we're beat officers. Maybe you'd say we're detective level. So like, and basically what he's doing is he's almost like a lieutenant from another department that is shadowing our trainee officer. It's sort of like that. It's like
No fucking way, because you're equating then him a lieutenant has some kind of standing. He's like part of the police force. This guy's not part of the police force. At best, he's like a secretary or some kind of assistant to somebody who's an actual policeman.
I just feel like you're underestimating what his position is just based on the fact that he is taking orders from Savona. That's what I'm getting at with that. Is human or not, I feel like by proximity, she's extending a lot of, we'll say, authority to him just by him being a part of her chain of command.
Let's ask Prince James these questions because I don't think she has any kind of authority. I don't think she has authority to go stick like the same. Let's say it wasn't a human. Let's say she just said, "Hey, guess what? You're gonna carry this camera, this body cam. I want you to carry around on you all the time." And I'd say, "Who the fuck are you? Why do you get to put that on me?" I'm sure Krieg doesn't want. And what's more is I'm worried because Krieg is so young. He's gonna be openly talking to this guy all the time and feeding him information. I don't think Krieg, I think his naivete is something else we got to worry about.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what.
Well, I mean, hopefully Prince James will see, take our side in this and put his foot down and say that shit's not happening anymore.
If he can.
Mm-hmm. And that's another issue. And of course, I'm gonna run it by my real chain of command too, Valentina. So we'll see what she says as well. I'm sure she won't like it.
Yeah, that's the whole other side of it.
No, Jessica. Carlos's mom got murdered today.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And not only that, but her throat was slit and she was pinned to the wall upside down. And then there was a note that said, "I love you," written in her blood, but it wasn't written in like fingertip. It was written in like handprint, like big old letters. And I found a black flake, so it is a fallen.
Fuck.
I don't know if it's the same one. I mean, it kind of sounds like the same one, but isn't he supposed to be under the Rat King's care, right? If I remember correctly. So there's that going on
Still
too.
Rat King since he's been replaced as sheriff.
Oh, that's right.
Oh God.
I don't know.
We're gonna
But I
have to
mean,
follow
to have
up on
written "I
that.
love you," that's pretty, So I think it could be the actual one that we, I don't know.
It's definitely something we got to investigate. This is right up our alley in terms of
Yep.
what we're supposed to do.
But we can't be investigating with the little guy following us around.
No, we can't.
Exactly.
So we got to take care of that first.
Yeah. Jeez. That's the kind of shit that the freaking government should be investigating. Not the Kindred. It should be the freaking demons.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, we do crap, but
Do you still talk to Carlos, Jessica? Like, do you check in with him or have meetings with him or anything?
Not so much anymore. I mean, he's kind of his own person. Just I
Yeah.
kind of say hi to him time to time, and that's about it.
Okay. I mean, I check in on him. That's how I found it tonight because I went to go check in. Yeah. We know that, and we know that he was gonna be the leader, but because of everything that happened, it seemed
We
like
kind
he
of
wasn't
averted
going
that
to
one.
be. Yeah. But I'm concerned with what happened to his mom now that could be a way that he goes. So we're gonna have to watch that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You guys are arriving at the hotel.
All right.
Craig, you're already at the hotel. What are you doing
the
there?
guy
You
in
just
the
waiting for
hoodie
them?
when we see him is the dude we're talking about.
Yeah.
His name's Michael.
Yeah, Craig is here with Michael. Craig?
Oh, no, Craig, he's not very good at socializing, so he's just sitting down and kind of watching his phone.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just sitting in the lobby? Yeah. Michael is
Yeah.
standing over you, watching everybody.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Craig should have a lot of fun giving his bodyguard a workout and go to the most populated places and put himself in the most interesting situations just to see what he would do.
I'm gonna go poke him and lick him real quick.
Okay, well, you guys are getting there. You're gonna go poke him and lick him?
Yeah.
Invisible?
Or just ask him.
There
Whoa,
are
whoa, whoa,
humans
whoa.
around in the hotel
Oh, that's
lobby.
true.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
are you verbalizing to us that you're wanting to do that?
Yeah.
You want to go invisible and
I'm
poke and
gonna
lick this
go
Michael
poke
guy?
him with my knife and then lick it.
Oh,
Just to
boy.
make sure that he's normal.
Hey, why don't we? What if the four of us talked to Prince James first and got any info before we possibly set stuff off?
I guess. I prefer to poke him and lick him, but alright.
Right?
I did lick the walls at Carlos's mom's house, and it was just her blood, just FYI.
That's good.
Forgot to put that out there.
It's not good, but that's better than
Something we don't know.
yeah.
Okay, you guys.
All right.
You
we'll
guys are
talk to
walking
James
up on
and come
Craig
up-
and I forgot the guy's name. Michael Bright.
Yep.
Okay, Craig. Your friends are coming. You see them walking over this way.
Hey guys.
Hey, Craig.
This is Michael.
That again.
Michael looks at all of you one at a time, eye to eye.
I lick my lips. All weird.
He doesn't seem intimidated at all.
Oh, that pisses me off.
Does he seem uncomfortable though?
No.
Thank you.
He's got like the perfect poker face. You have no idea what's going on inside of his head.
Oh, now I really want to poke and lick him.
We're
I didn't say that.
we're gonna go to top floor and then we'll be back later. And then I'll go to the receptionist and tell her that the Spines of the Cactus would like to see the prince.
I think Craig should come up.
Well, the thing
and
is,
be at least
with the guy.
Well, I'm saying I think he should come up, and then he could wait outside with his bodyguard.
Well, I don't want to show this stranger too much until Prince James knows what's going on.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we can have him come up after.
He's here first. Prince James.
I mean, the elevator's
Yeah.
right there. You guys can just, message me and I'll go back up. It'll take a few minutes to get there.
Remember, we don't do messages anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
but they can phone down and wave him over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Does the receptionist say anything?
Yeah, she says, and she says, hold on. And she makes a call. It's going to be just a couple of minutes, Mr. Levington.
Okay. And just go back to the group. We're gonna have to wait for just a little bit.
Only about 30 seconds later, Mr. Levington, your group has been invited to the top floor.
Okay, cool. Everybody good with Krieg and Michael staying down here for possibly coming up after?
Yeah, as long as
Yes.
the prince doesn't expect Craig there. Is so? Oh, by the way, this is a question for Seth. So Craig is not actually part of the Spines of the Cactus.
Yes, he is.
We're just watching him.
No, I believe he's part.
Or he is. He's.
Oh, you guys adopted him into it?
Yeah.
I didn't adopt him. He's a liability.
I mean, yeah. I just thought it might be weird that, like, if he's just newly made, he just gets appointed to a watchman position with status. Or 20 years. 20
We got
years
20
in, though.
years experience. That's a lot more than a week.
Yeah, and
We
also
just didn't
like
want him to get we just didn't want him to get axed.
Yeah, I thought we were agreeing to be responsible for him, but I didn't realize that meant. I mean, it's fine if that's what they would do. It just seems a little weird that they would actually give him the title of a watchman.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah, it seems a little strange right off the bat. Like, I don't know if he's ready for like the
You
official.
guys brought him into your coterie. He is now a watchman.
Oh.
He is then. It's just like the junior member.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like he's an intern.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Because I'm just wondering now, like, is it weird that he asked that the prince asked to speak to us, and now we're not bringing one of the members of the actual watchmen up there?
Because we don't want to expose Prince James to whatever that is until he's aware of it and is okay with it.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Let's do that then.
Elevator music.
Yep, elevator music.
Dun, 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 do, 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 do,
I imagine Prince James would have like some like old like Western type music on this time.
Yep, these guys. Most of these guys are.
It's hilarious. He's got Western piano type shit playing in the
Yeah,
elevator.
something like that. Like when you enter
One
the
of those
saloon.
old
And
Western pianos that plays itself.
yeah,
The beef what's
exactly.
for dinner? The beef what's
Yeah.
for dinner theme song?
Nothing. Just a song playing like that, just because he's like literally from like the 19th century. Like he was pre-jazz, pre-elevator jazz.
Yep.
Okay, so
He's also pre-elevator.
a guard opened.
It's basically got the Westworld theme playing.
The guard opens the door for you. He stays on the outside. There are a couple of guards inside, but this guy is the door guard. Inside is Prince James. He is not in his prince throne chair. He is just lounging in one of his lounger chairs. And so is the Archon, Michelle Delaney, who is still here after a few months.
Oh,
wow.
Oh.
spicy.
What kind of vampire is she? She's Ventrue as well?
You don't know. She works for the Ventrue Justice Department. You do not know what clan she is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can ask.
Mm.
It's deemed as rude, kind of given the situation.
Fine, not knowing.
Spines of the cactus, Prince James says. He lifts up his arms and stands up. Come on in.
Do a quick bow. Thank you for having us, Prince James. And then do a secondary bow. It is our pleasure for you to be in your presence, Archon, whatever her name is.
Michelle Delaney.
Michelle Delaney.
She doesn't rise, but she does nod her head to your bow.
Just dot the I's, cross the T's.
So
We have
here?
a matter to discuss regarding Krieg.
Regarding your tech van?
Well,
we were also going to bring that up, but
but
that
this
was
is a little bit more
secondary.
pressing.
We'll table that for a moment. What's wrong with Krieg?
It's not necessarily something wrong with him, but rather he has, at least allegedly, been contacted by Fiorenza Savona.
Prince James's eyes go wide. Wait, what? Say that again.
Prince Savona of Mexico City allegedly contacted him and has assigned a bodyguard watching him at all times and is apparently in his development.
Oh, that's.
And will not leave his side.
Yeah, I mean he's staying within earshot, even in ridiculous. He said to us that she's told him to keep. He's under orders to keep Craig safe, but then he's taking it to a ridiculous limit to where when we're trying to have private conversations with Craig, he refuses to leave the room. He wants to stay in earshot, even though he's obviously part of our coterie and not in danger with us. So it really seems to me like this is a move by her to spy on him and listen to everything he's saying.
Well, sure it is. Have you guys? Why is she interested in Craig? She looks
only
over
thing
at Michelle Delaney to see if she has any input. with Krieg again? The Archon says.
He's we rescued him from the Sabbat. Basically, the Sabbat had turned him,
fledgling
threw him in a
kid.
cage, and we're
I remember.
right. Yes, ma'am.
What?
Honestly, I think that it's probably more to do that it's not so much she's spying on Krieg, but she's spying on you through us and our activities.
Yep.
I don't think she would need Krieg for that.
It's an easy way to do it.
I feel like
She has spies already.
Yeah, but not somebody who's in the room all the time when we're talking and knows everything that the Watchman group is talking about.
You think that she's more interested in the Watchmen than in Krieg?
I think so.
I'm not of that belief. I think that it
very well could be.
There has been a lot of people taking an interest in the Watchmen lately, as you have noticed.
Yeah. Well,
I think
you guys are the closest thing we have to a wall to keep the Sabbat out of the United States. You guys and Watchmen like you in other border cities. And the Shield, but mostly you.
Let me ask you this. How common is it for a situation like Krieg's where someone who is turned by Sabbat joins?
Not
well,
very often.
you don't say Carmilla, but
we
Sabbat.
usually destroy them.
Do you think just he hasn't been destroyed would be reason enough for her to be interested in him?
Could be.
Or perhaps specifically who his sire is could draw the attention?
That was Antoine Salazar, correct?
I don't think he was that high up. But
yeah, his name doesn't mean anything to me. But
maybe it means something to her.
It means something to Fiorenza. He looks over at Delaney again, like she knows stuff and she's not saying anything. His name doesn't mean anything to me. That's what she says.
Well, in any case, Prince, this is a problem because if this guy's going to be insisting on hanging around within earshot of Krieg all the time, right, then he hears every conversation that Krieg is privy to, which means he's going to hear a lot of my conversations and Jack's and everybody else. And, to me, that's unacceptable. So, I mean, and this human is interpreting his orders super strictly, like unnecessarily too. So if I'm asking this guy to leave the room so we can have a private talk, he refuses to do it. This is something that has to be remedied immediately. How do you suggest we do that?
Did you ask him in the Hector way? That might have been.
I said step out of the room when I'm required to give him respect. Who the hell is he? He's not in my. He has no authority over me.
Envoy of Fiorenza Savona. You owe him respect.
Ugh.
Now, as far as him being in the room for you guys to have silent moments, quiet moments away from him and away from the ears of Fiorenza, that is a problem. But maybe it's not. If her interest is in your Watchman coterie more than it's actually in Krieg, that's of benefit to us.
How so?
That would mean that she's interested in the war with the Sabbat here.
She could means more resources potentially.
It could mean more resources. Definitely.
Would there also be the risk that even if maybe winning a major victory against the Sabbat, that just that attention alone would draw the attention of, well, the government.
Well, it can draw the attention of the government. That's why we have to make sure everything is quiet now. I have no influence over the Sabbat to make sure they're not communicating, but they know the same things going on as we know. They're elders.
Regarding
Should be making sure the young
is
stay off technology as well.
regarding that, I think it is appropriate that we mentioned what you had previously brought up, our new mobile asset.
Yeah, I think that's something you need to perform your duty. Is that correct? Or at least to do it at a better level?
It would make our jobs a lot easier.
And it doesn't
Not
involve
just to
any
communicate.
technology. It doesn't involve anything that's accessing the internet to communicate. It's strictly of being able to obtain audio and video.
Oh no, wait, no, that's not. I don't think, Jack. I don't think that's true. I think there's I think we have internet access in there.
Well, no, I
I think
don't.
so if we need to
I,
look up
I don't
Google.
mean. I don't mean that we couldn't theoretically use the computer to access the internet and do communications, but that's not what it's for. Is what I mean.
Oh right, no, but as part of our job, I would say it's reasonable. Like at times, if we need to look information up or like use something like Google Maps or something like that to see, as we're surveilling somebody, or if they bring up a name or something we need to research off of, then yeah, it becomes important to do our job.
Okay.
You
You're
may want to be
gonna have
careful
to
with even using
strictly
Google Maps.
Yeah,
because
be careful with
looking up
Google Maps.
looking up something may cause a flag that draws attention to you. But
Yeah.
that's going to be your responsibility to judge. But do not use technology to communicate with each other. Find yourself some couriers, whether you use mortals, ghouls, or other kindred to run these errands. We're back to the time that
In some situations, when we're in the middle of surveillance, what about usage of radios and stuff like that? We can't very well be using couriers if we're in an active surveillance situation, right?
Why not?
I mean, of course, we'll try to keep we are always going to be as careful as possible. What's that?
Why not? Why can't you use couriers?
What? Because, like, let's say we're in a situation where we're tracking somebody. So one of us in the van, we need two other spotters who go out to different blocks and kind of try to head them off. In a standard kind of surveillance way, right? Where you're not going to use the same van following them around, and we keep in touch through radios and stuff. To hey, I've got him now. I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm keeping an eye on him. He makes a left, and somebody else,
Radios kind
picks
of
up the trail there. That's the kind of stuff we need to
van
be.
radios that were used a few decades ago before all this internet nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can that be hacked?
Like a
Can that
walkie-talkie.
can that be hacked by outside listeners?
Yes.
If they know what our frequency is, there can be countermeasures against that, though.
Use your best judgment.
And we can
That's what I'm saying.
routinely change frequencies as well.
Use your best judgment, I suppose. But if your mistakes cost me the life of anyone, you will have to meet punishment for it. So be careful. Use common sense. Use your best judgment. And even if you used your best judgment and things turn out bad, accept your fate.
We'll take responsibility for any errors that we make.
Okay, then I trust you with your van.
I'm gonna get some tech lessons.
setting it up for you?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
The Archon is kind of chuckling into her hand. Okay, so back to Fiorenza's spy. I guess I can try to contact her and look into this, but for the time being, we definitely don't want to send him away. The last thing we want to do is cross Fiorenza.
How best would you advise us to deal with his situation? Would it be best to simply keep Krieg on lockdown until further notice so that he doesn't have any, knowledge?
It is
Or
possible that she's more interested in your coterie than she actually is in Krieg, or at least equally so. Your coterie is key to preventing the Sabbats' movement in this area. She could be wanting to see how well you do, see how well you perform, see when you might need her aid, her intelligence.
What are you saying? We let this guy spy on us, though?
We give him things to do.
Is it spying on you when the Camarilla wants to know what you're doing?
maybe a more accurate term would be forcible oversight? Because they're not hiding it, simply asserting their privilege to do so.
Forcible oversight is a good way to see this.
But this is like putting a body cam on us, basically, because he's gonna have firsthand. Like, we got somebody looking over our shoulder the whole time, and it's not even you. It's somebody outside your jurisdiction.
Prince James leans forward, looks at Hector, and turns on his awe, and all of a sudden, you can feel it, the force of his personality, the force of his raw charisma, and he looks at Hector and he says, "Is there a reason that you're wanting to be hidden?"
Not from you, Prince. It's from this lady who we don't know. You're okay with that? You're okay with somebody from the outside putting basically a camera in your own coterie, your own watchman?
She's not from outside. She's the Camarilla. She's the Camarilla in this area. I can't think of anyone more powerful than her that isn't
Okay, so you're saying she's in your chain of
isn't an
command then?
Archon or a Justicar.
Okay. Well, it sounds like what you're telling me is the order is coming from you to let this guy hang around. Then that's different.
Let him know what's. If you guys are really up to something that the Camarilla doesn't know about, then I suppose try to do it away from him. But your normal everyday occurrence, take this as a compliment that she's interested in you. This could
Mm.
be a great thing, not a penalty. If her eyes
Okay.
are on you, then you have, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then you have a support network that is beyond anything we can grant you.
That's one way to look at it.
Did Krieg speak with Fiorenza? Could you bring Krieg up here?
And what do we do? I mean, do you want his bodyguard to come with him? Because this guy's going to insist on it.
Yes, he is going to insist on it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, he might not insist on it, knowing where he is, but yes, he can come. In fact, I'll send the message down. And he picks up the phone. And he says something in the phone. And then he hangs it up. He should be here in a moment. Okay, Craig. The I'm forgetting the name. Information lady? The lady at the desk?
Receptionist.
Receptionist.
Yeah. She comes over and says, Mr. Krieg, you and your companion are invited to the top floor.
Okay, Craig says, looking at her with a nod. Thank you. So he heads towards the elevator. Once he gets in,
I got in trouble, is what Michael says.
so he's in the elevator right now with Michael. Okay.
Yes.
Hey Michael, I have a question.
What's up?
When you and Hector were, I guess mentally shoving. That's a good way to look at it. You said dominate me. Is that okay? Like, will you get in trouble if they dominate you and you just had to leave like that?
Me. I won't.
I see. So that's the
I'm
preferred
immortal.
way
I
to
have
deal with it?
extremely limited resistance to domination.
I see. So is that, so that could be a possible option, because I don't want, there to be trouble with anything, less friction for you to just step out for a little bit.
Problem.
Oh,
no, there would be a problem. It just wouldn't be for me.
I see. Craig pauses.
But I think the problem would have been less than if he assaulted me.
That's true. That's true. I guess it's a last-ditch effort to look into.
If the domination had been done correctly, word might not have even reached Fiorenza about it. So in that case, perhaps it would have been the best idea.
Craig nodded, thinking about how hindsight was 2020. All right, so the elevator opens and
on a scale of 1 to 10, how mean is your prince?
He's never seemed mean to me. He seemed.
What?
I've only talked to him. I'd say 4 or 5. I mean, you can't. I doubt you could get political power if you didn't have a ruthless side.
Oh, very true. Always be careful around these high-level kin. Always. They're 10 steps beyond us.
Craig nods and looks at his feet.
His hoodie. And you can tell this is when his poker face fades. He is not comfortable going to meet the prince in his hoodie. This is the only time you.
What's Craig wearing?
Kind of emotion on his face at all. I have no idea what Craig is wearing.
I just assumed he was wearing a dark clothes. Yeah, I suddenly realized that. Okay, good.
So yeah, you can be wearing like normal everyday clothes, or you probably are not wearing like super fancy stuff. Normal everyday clothes, or if you want to be in army fatigues, you can be in that.
Casual, I guess, would be best.
Okay, the door opens for you. There's a guard outside.
Okay, they walk into. I guess they just head to the room.
Yep. And you enter the room. And the room is like I mean, it's the same way as it was when you saw it before. All of the designs, the furniture, everything is old, like antique-y old. And there is a wooden throne, which is where Prince James was when you met him last time. He's not sitting in that right now. Instead, he is leisurely lounging in a lounge chair, and so is the blonde lady that you met in the hallway the last time you were here 3 months ago. And then your friends are here. They're standing.
Oh, good. I guess Craig will go step over to them, and he'll bow, Prince, and then he'll bow again to the other the lady with the prince. I don't think Craig ever Met her.
Well, you met her. You don't know who she is.
Yeah,
She
yeah. There was
she
no
talked
former
to Craig
introduction.
when Craig was forced to leave the room so that they could talk about killing him. Then she talked with him a little bit, and then she went in the room and left him out
Yeah.
there. What's his name again? Michael Bright. After Krieg does his bout, then Michael Bright takes center stage and kneels down on one knee. Prince James, I am Michael Bright, envoy of Fiorenza Savona. And Prince James says, "You may stand." And he stands. And he takes a step back and takes a step behind Craig. So, Craig, do you have any idea how you got on Fiorenza's list?
Honestly, I cannot think of anything. I've had an encounter with my sire twice. I was tortured, and that whole thing was, it was a misty dream, and then there was the confrontation a few months ago. It was a few months ago, right?
Yeah, it was a few months ago.
That's all that that's happened with me.
For the last couple of months, you've been with Valentina. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How did that go, by the way? You feel more confident?
I'm not dead.
You understand what it means
Yes.
to be gangrel?
Yeah, I'm actually a bit. I was worried about being a gangrel, but it's a lot more. It's not as strict as I thought it would be, which is a huge relief.
Oh, I would say they're one of the clans that are the least strict. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. So let's talk about Fiorenza. Did she contact you?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to explain to me the means of which she contacted you? And explain to me and to your coterie.
There was this. It was a black suitcase that Michael K brought to me, and he told me to go to the other room and open it up. And there was one of those old rotor phones with the rotary. And as soon as I opened up, there was a phone call, and the lady on the other end said that she has an interest in me. Her name is Fiona Fiorenza Savona, and I am to call her ma'am.
Okay.
Did she say anything else?
No. Well, she
no.
told you that she told you that this guy's name is Michael Bright, and that he is going to be your bodyguard. That's what she told you.
Oh, and this man behind me is Michael Bright, and he will be my bodyguard.
Oh, and she also said that she has great interest in watching your development.
Oh, I did say the interest. Oh.
Say that?
Yeah.
I think that's all the things that she. Okay, so she had an old phone that requires a telephone line, and it was in a briefcase. It wasn't plugged into anything. Is that correct?
No, it wasn't.
Was she a recording, or did she answer questions?
I did not answer questions, and I do not believe that she was a recording. It could have been a recording, but there was a lot of force that came through that phone. Her tone said, "Do not ask me anything." This is all you need to know.
I've spoken with her only once, and it was through a device similar to that. A phone from, I don't know, 1930s, 1940s. It was an old phone, and it wasn't plugged into anything except for the briefcase that it was in. It was powered with some kind of magic. Like, it's the only thing I can guess. Okay? Well, the ruling is you guys are to accept that Craig and quite possibly the spines of the cactus are on Fiorenza's list. She has an interest in you. She's wanting to know what you're doing and what you're up to. Hide as little as you can from her. Because impressing her will be of benefit not only to you on a personal level and to your coterie, but also to my secret. Michael Bright. And he steps forward. What's your job? To protect Krieg with my life and report all my information gathered to Ms. Fiorenza. Okay, you do that. Would you stay out of their way? Yes, sir. I have no intention of being in anyone's way, only to protect Craig. So be it. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Hector?
Yes,
You're
sir.
the one with the biggest problem.
I mean, I had a problem because of the way that he was going about it. He said his job was to protect Craig, and therefore he couldn't leave him in the room alone with the rest of the coterie. If that's what he's going to continue to believe, then I'd like you to instruct him now, Prince, if you agree with me, that he's not in danger from the coterie. He's not in danger from his own coterie, and this human needs to understand that.
Yeah, he looks at Michael Bright. He says, Craig is not in danger from this coterie. They're the ones who rescued him, and they have taken on parental roles towards him. Do you understand this? And Michael Bright nods his head. Yes, sir, I do. Anything else? Hector, anything else?
No, no, Prince. That was my only concern. Thank you for clarifying that.
I do believe the two of you are going to butt heads in the future.
Do I believe that?
No.
No.
I am telling
As
you,
long
I
as he's
think that you probably will. Try to keep your cool. Both of you. Well, he looks like cool is probably his middle name. But try to keep your cool and don't be killing Fiorenza's envoy just because he made a funny sound. You get me?
I mean, I won't do that, Prince. Again, the only reason that this even went as far as it did is because he wouldn't leave us alone in a room to talk by ourselves, suggesting he was in danger, that Craig was in danger from us, which I thought was ridiculous.
Well,
But I understand your orders clearly, so.
okay. Then let's hope this all works out for the best. Hopefully, I will be getting another call from Fiorenza explaining what her interest is, but we'll see. Okay, dismissed.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, you guys are in the elevator. Michael
Well,
Bright says, I'm sorry that things went the way they did. Perhaps I could have handled the situation better.
Oh man, we're cool. Again, I think there's a misunderstanding. I got upset because I thought you were suggesting he was in danger from us, and obviously the prince
I
explained it.
wasn't
That's not the
suggesting
case.
it as much as I was cautious of the possibility. Does that make sense? I didn't know you. And even though Craig told me you were his coterie, Craig is extremely young and gullible. He says this right in front of Craig. So, should you guys have meant him harm, it was something I needed to determine on my own. Prince James, on the other hand, he has a lot of wisdom and understanding in there. So I trust his word, and now I trust your courage with my charge.
Tell you what, Mike, I think we'll be just fine. I put out my hand to him. Shake it.
Yeah, he shakes your hand.
Cool.
Besides, Craig needs a babysitter.
Does he? I kind of noticed that myself.
I mean,
I'm interested to see how you'll handle yourself in a fight. Getting one.
I have seen many battles, but I have to promise you that my primary goal is to protect Craig, not to win your battles, and unfortunately not to protect any of you. As long as you
no, I guess
understand
what we want you to understand is that the level of enemies we're fighting are supernatural, superhuman, and so sometimes it might be best for you to just get out of the way and let us do our thing.
Yeah, I've been handling myself in Fiorenza's employ for 32 years.
Okay.
Craig sighs. So, am I going to ever meet anybody younger than I am?
No.
In 20 years, you will.
Love it.
Let's see. There is a chance somebody has been embraced since Craig. Just roll me a d10. Somebody, it doesn't
Me.
matter. The first person to do it wins. Yes. I have no idea who it is, but you've heard that somebody has been embraced and is now younger than you.
Oh, good.
I know who it is. It's a new toy of Cynthia Villarreal. She let the old
Thank
toy
you,
go.
Cynthia.
She gets bored.
Craig's just gonna find this person just randomly and be like, new kid. Don't know anything. I'll take you under my wing.
Okay. Where do you guys go? We're almost done. I just have one more little mini scene, and then we're done. Which is good, because it's already been 3 hours.
It went by
Where do you guys
fast.
go?
I think we go back to the bar.
Okay.
Well, we're at the hotel. I'm gonna get myself a glass of wine,
Okay.
of red
That sounds
wine.
good too. That sounds good to me too.
There was some for you up there on the top floor.
Okay,
Ooh, so
so yeah,
can I take
that's
my hunger down?
yeah, because I need to take my hunger down a notch.
You should have been at 1.
No, I had a hunger gain when I roused.
Oh, then yeah, you're back to 1.
All right.
Got
Can I
back
knock mine back down to 1 too?
Yep. Yes.
No,
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't
Hector
have
gets to
a
go down
2
to 1?
minimum. He just starts stories at 2 instead of 1. That's
Ah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a 2 minimum. He can go drink. He just starts at a default of 2 instead of 1. Okay. All right, so you guys get back to the whatever it's called, the Scarlet Rose.
Mm-hmm.
The Desert Rose, the van.
The Desert
No, the
Rose.
Scarlet
You guys
Rose.
get back to the Desert Rose. Okay. Who goes inside the bar, and who goes to play with their new van?
I want to check out the Cactus Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, Craig hasn't seen
Yeah.
the van
Hector's
yet.
heading
So.
back to the van,
Okay. Everybody's
And
going to the van.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Hector's loading in a playlist. It's gonna start with Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Okay.
Oh my god. Hector.
So you guys are like you've been in there showing each other stuff for like 20 minutes, and you get running you're showing off the cameras once you find it, the cameras to the bar, and there is a person in the back room. Let me switch to. Oh, I totally made a room just named.
Woohoo!
It's just I couldn't find a picture of a van or anything, so it's just like a screen with
Okay.
some text out. Okay. Let me find that picture. Okay, so there is a girl in the back room where you guys had your super secret meeting that Michael couldn't go to.
Mm-hmm.
And she is. She is in biker leathers and it's got holes all over it, and she's bloody. And she's got her face looks like it was smashed in, and she is like sitting in the corner, just kind of rocking herself.
And we see this all on the
You
cameras.
see this on the camera that's looking at the back room of the park of Scarlet Rose.
Looks like check that out. I get out, anticipating others will follow.
I'm going.
And this isn't one delay
Hang on.
from the previous story, right?
No.
Mila,
Okay.
there's
The one that
blood.
made
You can
Jack
taste
bitch?
it.
No.
Yeah. I liquored on.
Hector will recognize her, I think. Maybe not, because her face was smashed in. Hector, make me a. I don't know. Let me look at the character sheet.
Mem-
What would be good for trying to recognize somebody whose face is all fucked up? You barely know.
Wits and awareness.
Maybe?
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, let's do wits and awareness.
I can go clean her face
Maybe
with
we
my
could
tongue
do
real quick.
insight, but Hector has better awareness than insight, so we'll do awareness. He's the only one that's seen that.
Ouch.
How well did you do?
Not very well.
So not for sure, but you think that this is Adriana Estrada, who is a member of Valentina's Anarchs.
Oh shit! It's a kindred.
Yeah, if that's her.
Okay. Hey guys, I think this might be kindred.
Okay.
Let's go see what the fuck is up.
You do know her name, if that's her.
Oh, no, I just say I think this might be kindred if it's who I think it is. As we're running in.
Okay, you guys go inside. As soon as you go inside, let me switch pages to Scarlet Song. Marcus, that's his name. Eric is not. Marcus waves at you guys and motions you over to the bar.
Hey Marcus, you know what's up with
Yeah, you guys have somebody to put her in the back.
She's here to see us.
Yes. She's
Did she show up in that condition?
Yeah, she's kind of pissed off. She's really anxious and was quite pissed off that you guys weren't here.
All right, let's roll.
About 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so we briskly head in there.
Okay. soon as you open the door, she pops back up to her feet.
Adriana, is that you?
They took her! They took her! And she goes, she comes
Took who?
up to you. They took Emily!
What?
What the fuck?
That's where
Who?
Who took her?
Oh
Dang.
gosh.
Oh no.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not Emily.
Okay, so you guys do
I don't think
not
Craig's
know
met Emily yet.
her very well, but she is the first Zemitzi to join with the Anarchs here. That was about 4 years ago. She was in our list, our timeline list. Adriana Estrada. She is Clan Zemitzi and joined in Valentina's Anarchs. Okay. What's a good question we can ask everybody? Here's one. We'll go around the board, starting with Craig, and we're going to ask, not really Craig, but Jimmy. Jimmy, what is your opinion, and perhaps why you even took it, of being on Fiorenza's list and having Michael Brighton? And this was your choice, not mine. So, share what your thoughts and ideas and, why you took this. And, and then we'll go around the table and see what everybody thinks. Both in character and out of character. You can leave in character talk too. We're just trying to get a little information on how everybody's thinking.
Can you
I thought
repeat the
it'd be
question? Sorry.
Did you ask me?
Can you repeat the question?
What do you think in character or out of character of Craig being on Fiorenza's list
Oh, okay.
and having Michael Brighton on? We're going to start with Jimmy, who actually chose to take this lore sheet and buy the first power from it, which is Michael Brighton.
I thought that it would be interesting because it has the. I mean, you could have basically a lot of connections with Mexico. Well, the central Mexico. It just seemed like a lore sheet that would lead into a lot of stuff because she has such far reach, and it seemed kind of random. And honestly, I thought that the bodyguard wouldn't even lead to any possibilities with role playing. I figured they would see it and that would be it. So it was kind of interesting that they went on a little, like that itself brought a mission.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Serious Jess.
I guess I think I explained mine. Basically, it was just what I said to the prince. It was this combination of like, you're his bodyguard. Like, who the fuck are you? Some other person just installed a bodyguard, and then this guy is insisting on being in the same room, which to me screams like he's not really. I mean, first of all, it's a human. How much is he gonna protect a vampire, right? And then secondly, like, him refusing to leave the room in a situation where it was very clear that Craig's not in danger. He's with his coterie. And I think both my character and my understanding is that, I mean, it's universally understood amongst vampires that they're pretty safe within their own coterie, except for special situations. So it just felt like a human getting a little bit of power, and that he has like a general instruction from another vampire, and then kind of deciding that it means more than it means. And that's where he got into this really weird situation where, like, if you're gonna try to, like, if I just told you to leave and I'm a lot more powerful than you, then the only way that you get to override me is if you're dead in the right. And I just don't think, and Hector doesn't think, he was Like if this came down to like Fiorenza saying, "Hey, why did you forcibly remove my guy from the room?" So because we want to have a private conversation, he wasn't in danger, so that wasn't your orders, right? And that's kind of how I would have gone about that. But all that being said, now that the prince has explained that he belongs there.
Cool. Lynn, what do you and Mila feel about being on Fiorenza's list?
Mila does not like it.
You still haven't tested this guy either.
Yeah, that's true. That's coming. But I think Mila will wait until he's bleeding rather than inflict it herself, just because she doesn't want to cause problems to the prince. But
Good ask.
But she doesn't like it, and it's just another person that she has to be careful around, and she, not knowing. I mean, we know where his loyalties are, and that's not a person that our loyalties are necessarily with, so it's just not comfortable.
Let me jump in there and tell mine. That is exactly what I'm wanting to create. For you guys to feel more like you are part of kindred society. Everybody is watching you. You have no friends, and oh my god, I don't know what to do. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Janina.
It's kind of like you're really bringing out some of the bitchiness in Jessica at this point, because it's like, as far as Jessica's concerned, that's just validation that he's gonna screw up big. If he doesn't have a babysitter, he's gonna screw up so big and so bad, and it's just a risk to the rest of us. Because considering like how we averted a major disaster with her touchstone, it's kind of like one of those things. But yeah, I didn't know that was kind of like a lore sheet for Jimmy, but that was actually pretty interesting.
And Jack, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Really interesting situation. Out of character, really interesting. Looking forward to see what'll come of that, and hoping that we can eventually get into some kind of scrap that necessitates his involvement, just to see what he can do. I'm assuming he just shoots, but I want to see how good he is.
He's also got the big ass knife.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's like a special knife or something. And then also, in character, Jack's not. He's sort of neutral about it, because he's not happy that there's like basically this oversight that's sort of, like a rank kind of thing. Like, not like, oh, this is Prince James oversight, but rather someone that he doesn't really know is basically pulled rank and is sort of invading. At the same time, Jack is sort of excited of the possibility of using this as basically like a connection building thing, and that it basically gets some good, like he can maybe get something out of it by basically getting in good with this incredibly powerful kindred.
Archon Jack Levin's on his way.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if Jack could, out of character, just if Jack could have his way and it wouldn't like mess up the flow of the game, he would like generally be trying to see if maybe he could like flip and try to join the crusade as a vampire. But he's not gonna do that because it would totally mess up the game. But like, if I played Jack, like it's what my character would do to the detriment of everyone else, then I would be like, yeah, I'm trying to flip and be a double agent because I actually hate vampires and would rather all of us die and then me die.
Yeah.
But
let's go. I'm gonna go tell as soon as one of those FBI agents shows up and be like, yeah, I know all the secrets, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you everything.
But because I'm not doing that, I'm excited for the possibility of like, hey, this can be used to build up from here.
There's another question I could have asked you guys. What you thought about the Inquisition. Maybe I'll do that next time. since you already Agent Garcia was in the gym.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts about that too. Okay, well we're good, and in 2 weeks is it Christmas? Maybe we want to do 3 weeks. I don't know. We'll figure that out. 2 weeks might be Christmas.
Yeah, it is Christmas in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's exactly Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
we'll get it ready whenever.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't see Chimichi in the version 5 book.
Yeah, it's not in there. It's in the companion. Did it give you
All right,
the companion? I think it did.
I gotta go, guys. Have a good night.
Okay. Have a
Good
good
night.
Oh, everybody gets an experience. I'll put it on for Jack.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yay, experience.
See ya.
I can be a little smarter in
I'll
tech.
put it in a minute. I gotta wait until my recording's done. It moves all stupid with the recording.
One more
lost
point,
it.
and I get Pharaoh Whispers.
Cool.
I think.
I closed the thing so my recording doesn't get. And it might as well be done. Thank you for watching. I'll just go ahead and close
Thank
you out now
you,
because we
folks.
lost our screen anyway. So thank you for watching and have a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.